should have stayed home.
Camera 2 is down.
No!
Nobody can see it. That sucks.
Bro,
All
you're like,
this
what
work
is
for
going
nothing.
on?
Yeah.
It still says Doritos on it. I know. I'll put it right here. Oh my gosh, it says racetrack. It's perfect.
Just open it.
I know.
Show
Oh
the,
my god.
show the,
Show the burger.
Show the
The
burger.
The
The
burger.
burger. The burger.
The burger.
Yeah.
The burger.
Oh god.
What's the matter, son?
Oh,
I must ask you a question.
I'm gonna just go buy.
How is your
like,
weekend?
I'm gonna go buy one and just cover all of those. So just put this right here and see no
Just
You don't like
the
Captain
horse
Crunch?
Blinder things.
that I can't laugh or I go into a coffee.
Why can't you laugh?
She's trying not to. You just got white buzz in your cheek. All
Hmm,
that stuff out.
I forgot to lotion up this morning. Ashy motherfucker. Welcome to tonight's stream. I'm your host, Evie. We're here with the Dungeon Initiative with tonight's episode. I don't have anything special to announce other than the fact that my mom sent me this costume randomly. And it's like the most random thing I've ever gotten
You
from her.
completely destroyed the joke.
No,
We're not supposed to mention the cost. It's too late now.
It's like
Crunch.
You crunched that one up, right?
Yeah.
Heavy crunch will disappear. Markets crawling through the shadows will be brought to light. If there's a blood dungeon, and if there's monster to be slain, then you know who will answer the call. The initiative, the Dungeon Initiative. The Dungeon Initiative.
And the crowd.
Anyways, make sure to check out Balanced Martial Arts and Gaming on Facebook. If you guys are on Facebook, they're on most social medias, including Instagram as well. We rent out the studio here. You can do that as well. And you can also take classes here at the dojo. So definitely come check them out here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Balanced Martial Arts and Gaming. Shout out. You alright over there?
And she's trying. I feel like you should probably take off the musters because how much you push it up.
Yeah,
against
just-
your nose.
Gonna-
Like lower it.
Yeah.
A little lower.
That's a good. That is a really.
Unibrow.
It stops everybody in their track if they fail.
There we go. It's perfect.
It's actually hilarious too because unless
It's like
somebody
buzz
else
flying
answers
around
them,
everywhere.
they're stuck.
Yeah.
There is no motivation.
Yes, yeah, bro.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Talk to the man like this. I am Napoleon.
Jesus.
So on the prior weekend, guys, we all got together with some new characters, and Fenrir. So Fenrir, you were visited by a stranger in the town of the initiative, who basically gave you like forewarnings of things like kind of stirring in the north, right?
Did I visit him or did he?
I guess it's like back and forth at the same time. A lot of visiting happens. But you guys kind of like saw a storm gathering in the north, and it was causing some sort of tremors in the earth as well. So you went north to investigate, and it took you guys some time to travel. And when you finally reached this open area, this open field, you ran into
Arena.
road name here, Narina, and a band of other Silverstein elves that were scouts from the northern region. After battling a couple of mutated T-Rexes, you guys saw further, or at least you and what's your name, Thrag, both witness as the storm cloud kind of shaped into a colossal creature. At this point, you as a group have traveled to together, completing the journey over to the northern woods, where the Elven City. I wrote the name down here. Make noise, just ready.
Dumat.
Which is capital.
The Elven city of Aerothas. And I have my pencil. You need my pencil? My pencil.
My pencil.
It's the
Okay.
designated pencil.
My character likes them.
You sharpen.
Fenrir, no. Fenrir's
My
the only
sharpener.
one that's like.
Thanks for my sharpener.
He had a door in his hand.
Jeez, there should be like a villain that has nothing but door shields.
Every time he hits him, it knocks him into the
Anytime one of the doors shattered, he pulls out another weapon that's just made of doors. Door nunchucks.
So, you guys kind of complete the journey along with the Elven scouts, and you find yourselves at these large marble-like gates.
Can you say the name of the place?
Aerothas.
hairy ass.
I can't wait for you to campaign, and I get to like make fun of all your weird little names. And be like, ha, they're all named Ivan.
Oh wait, there will be a thing like
Oh God.
that.
Our goal is simple to murder all the Ivans.
What you guys notice is that like a lot of the guards working along the side of this wall, they're like quickly trying to like batten down hatches and like secure their weaponry, and there's like hard winds kind of like building up. You notice that at one point there's like a guy like kind of strapped up with a bunch of ropes, and he kind of like goes flying off the side of the wall.
Can we confirm something real fast?
Yeah.
Is our audio good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you want to like go ahead
Before we
and
get
roll
too
the line.
far.
Yep.
You don't want
I saw it on the meter, and I had to turn off one of the mics that was out there, and then
Yeah.
I tested it to see if you guys were talking, and the flip was going on.
Remember, the left and right one, down, up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you conversations. Cool.
It's working. It's working.
Random Menace.
Yeah, like the wall before you guys is made of like some sort of marble and steel. It kind of has like this reflective color to it, but currently with the doom and gloom with the clouds surrounding it, it's got like this dark cascaded color over it. But an elf kind of like falls off the side when a hard gust kind of blows over, and he's just kind of hanging off of the rope as the others are trying to like hold on and like pull him back up.
Let's fly.
Seeing him up there, 'cause I think I have climbing on for special movements.
that was
There's lag.
that was a lag, and it's actually like triggered my head.
It's triggering the editor in me. I have to deal with that later. Payback.
Yes, I have climbing too.
Hey, that's not the thing. That's just
That's
a
a
random
person.
person.
Yeah.
This one's straight in a man.
I don't know.
Straight
That might have just been what you
rabbit
said.
man.
Oh,
You're supposed to say what kind of you.
What are you?
Sorry.
seeing this, Fenrir is going
I said
to,
rat.
because
I said rat.
I have climbing speed, and I'm going to kind of just scale up the wall real fast and help this guy get him back on top.
You go ahead and you do so, grabbing him and like pulling him up on top of the wall. When you're there, like, you know, the elves kind of like, you know, startled at first. They like, you know, see you, and then they quickly like grab the guy, get him covered. Some of them like come over to you and they like clap you on the back, and they're just like, "Where did you even come from?"
Are they familiar with the dungeon initiative?
So make an insight check here.
No.
The Dancing Inquisition.
Whoa.
I had rolled a 10.
Another 2 weeks. Like amongst the group here, you don't see anybody kind of like react, like, you know, or like in familiarity to you.
No, but I do have like because I'm wearing the uniform.
Okay. Okay, so you do have it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in that case, then yes, they do kind of like see the signet after like some time, because again, like there's a lot of like gusts and winds and a bunch of debris flying around. It's kind of chaotic right now. People are shouting everywhere, but some of them like they point you out and they say, "He's an initiative member. Tell the captain." And like one guy kind of like runs off. When you kind of like look off toward the north, you can see across that there's a lot of these buildings kind of like built around these large oak trees. The Elven City itself kind of interconnected with a series of bridges and stuff like that. You also notice that going along the top of the trees, they've built these structures to be able to kind of like move in between their settlements. So it kind of stretches on and on, like as far as your eye can see.
And these trees are tall, like really big.
Yeah, but real thick oak trees, like the kind you see in like those storybooks, that they almost like if you stand at the base of them, they kind of stretch on forever. They kind of built their homes around the trees themselves.
Impressive. It's just like looking at all the elves, making sure that they don't all look like a LeFay.
No, there's variations here and there. There's a lot of blonde though, like that, like a large series of blonde elves here, and they vary from men and women. Not a whole lot of other races, but you do see that like in certain points there are a couple of like different like type of people, especially tiefling kind, and they're dressed in like these reddish and orange like robes, and they're like kind of locked into the side of the wall, and they're like staring out into the storm.
Strange.
Oh, I'm so sure.
And I'm gonna find my way down back to the
And while they're kind of making their way, the Elven brothers, they go up to the double doors that lead into the city, and there's a guy that kind of like peeks his head out through like a porthole, and they're just like, "Silverstains, you made it back!" And they're like, "Barely. We have a lot to tell, but not a lot of time." And then you hear like the cranking of the wall, and as you're kind of like descending down the stairs on the other side, you see that they do have like this crank system, and it's being moved by like this giant guy.
And he's not an elf.
He's just very large.
She's just a big.
You would even you would even assume that maybe he was a giant of some kind, but he's not like that gigantic. He's
So
very
like
strong.
half giant.
So Goliath. That's Goliath.
I'm saying it without saying it. Like, yeah, sure, yes. God damn. Taking the world, man. So the doors come open, and you guys are kind of like, waved in, and quickly, like, the elves that were with you guys, they, like, grab them, and they're just like, "We have to debrief them. Tell us everything you know." And they start to kind of take them off to the right. And
And
there's,
head count is there.
there are all four of them. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
There was only. Because we ate the fifth one.
It's a joke.
You see that there is an elven. There's an elven warrior dressed in like this all silver and white uniform. He approaches you. His hair is tied back. He has these pins and things, kind of like signifying his like ranking amongst everyone. But he addresses you directly because you have the uniform, and he says, "I didn't think they would send someone so quickly. I'm Orberus." And he like holds out a hand.
Oh, Finrir, and he's gonna shake his hand.
Yeah, like he's just kind of looking about. And he goes, "Do you have any idea what's going on? What did the Silverstains say?"
Not much. When we arrived, well, me and the other guy, and points at Thrag, kind of like looks back at you. You still not gonna tell me your name?
Just kind of looking around the city as he walks in for a moment.
I just
Oh.
thought that we could name him Felipe. Because he wouldn't say his name.
You guys notice that there are some like elves that kind of like lean into each other, and they're like whispering something as he kind of like approaches you guys.
But based on what we encountered, they didn't have to tell us much. But seems like the problem you have might be beast related in nature, I guess.
He's like, "I can take you over to the eastern walls. We've been seeing like mass migrations of creatures
What are
for
your
some time, but
defenses?
nothing. We're setting up currently.
Kind of.
It's exactly what you do.
There seems to be these."
In character.
And, like he like grabs you and he just like pulls you away from them. Like, "I don't understand what your friends are bickering about. We need to hurry up."
He's asking if there's defenses.
I'm playing into like what you guys are doing right now. Like,
I wasn't even in character when that.
fuck it! We're in character at the table. Oh,
Makes no sense.
So we're not in character when we have hands on our heads.
we're gonna do the. Are we all in character?
Fuck you.
Are we all in character?
Now, yes.
What are
Okay.
your defenses?
He stops and he looks to you and he says, that they have at least 200 men on the eastern wall. They're preparing their defenses currently, and then they have ground forces on the ground, setting up so that way they can march out if needed or to defend the inner wall.
I'd have to agree with him on that.
He like looks back and he says, aside from the behemoths that we saw, what else are we dealing with?
Well,
This storm isn't helping anymore, and like sure enough, like he's looking off in that direction, and when you guys look, you just see this creature kind of looming off in the distance, like above the city walls. All you can see is just like its eyes, like kind of looking about and shifting over in your directions.
Did he say like which walls are being attacked more frequently?
It seems like the eastern side is where they're kind of shifting their defenses currently.
is it like right there at the walls, or is it the thing?
It's like looming off in the distance. It's not like right on top of you guys, but whatever the effects that this thing is giving off, it's like a hurricane essentially,
Okay.
and it's just formulating like over the mountain region. The city itself is kind of nuzzled in between this mountain range that kind of stretches off into the north, almost like a channel.
All I know is if it gets close enough, we need to hammer everything that you have at it. But
If what gets close enough, I don't understand.
you now see the gigantic monstrosity sitting up on
They cannot see it.
He starts to kind of lead you guys up the steps of the wall and kind of like back up the way you came, and as you guys are kind of like walking along the edge, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, that's the I think it could be the powder, baby. You did have to clean it and poke at it, stuff like that, because of the fact that you put it on in the bottle cap, because the thing was filled with like water all the way.
Oh, but yeah, like as you guys go up the steps and the soldiers are all kind of gathered, thank you. You're walking along the edge toward the eastern side, and
Fuck it.
you can see that they have like these what look like these like large javelins, but they don't seem like they have like the rigging in order to sling any projectiles. They seem to just kind of what you assume based on the power emanating from them. These are like kind of like the bows that you saw in the Silverstein hands.
So they don't fire projectiles. It's
Yeah.
magic
They're
based.
crafted with metal and very little wood pieces. It's just this like a giant crossbow essentially.
Okay.
It's armless. It's just a magical arm.
But they're like kind of like tilting and moving it, and every once in a while you can hear like one of them like charge it, and these like silver lights kind of appear, and then they create the javelin and shoot it straight down into the forest. So every once in a while you're hearing them like, "Hey, fire!" And when you guys reach that side of the wall and look down, you see that every once in a while there's like these large creatures that kind of run out, and it seems to be like a variation to like those Rexes that you saw. Whether they're kind of small, like medium, or like large, they're like kind of like coming up, testing the limits of the wall, and then like dashing back before they can get shot at. Go ahead and make perception checks here if you'd like.
Oops, I'm sorry.
18.
I just.
Okay.
It just happened.
That was
I was
16.
doing like that, and I almost fell off the chairs. That's why I heard that thing.
Don't fall off the
Yeah.
chair.
Did you make did you make a perception check yet?
She tried.
I'm not there.
I want you to.
Present then.
All she sees is.
And do it with advantage too. 'Cause you've been here a little longer.
Sees is Fenris head. What was it again?
Oh,
Sorry. Just a perception.
Roll it with advantage. So roll again. So that's a 3 versus
Right,
6.
standing over, I'm just staring over.
Look at you.
They stand each other
I got
next to each other. It's like that
I'm
egg.
just saying, like, from
Plus
height.
your wit.
Oh yeah. And because she's shorter, a little bit shorter than him, she's just like she's staring straight, but all she sees is him.
Oh my god. Oh, so she's like zoned in on him?
Basically.
Oh god. Can't wait for the wrath of Zoe.
She is sandwiched in between.
No,
There was actually a concept that came up.
Zoe actually met Narita once when they were younger.
No.
She rolled a 25 on her perception.
25? Okay. So when you guys are like kind of peering over, you're the first one who can kind of spot this. Like further into the woods, I'd say like so about 600 feet into the woods. You can kind of see like the heavy like smog from the storm kind of building up, and again it's kind of like there's a mix going on of like a volcanic eruption when it gives off that black smoke that's kind of like overtaking the forest itself. But you can kind of pin out almost like these humanoid things like standing all amassed together out there facing the wall itself.
Kind of like looking at it. Kind of like leans over to the captain that's there. Why don't you aim for those guys?
They are kind of like peering out, and they said, "You can see a target up there."
Yeah.
And then like some of them like take out these bifocals, and they're like looking through and just, yeah, I can kind of make something out. I'm not sure what they are. There's people. There's people up there. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're amassed like an army. And sure enough, you start to see like this like creature like running through the woods. Describe your character.
So you see a 5'6" jackrabbit.
Tall jackrabbit.
Yeah.
we thought it'd be really funny if he was like a freak in comparison to his people.
Just because they're an inch long.
Harrigans are cool though.
You see like clearly like pink nose. They're all gray with like a little bit of like black fur.
Okay.
They have leather and boots, which they kind of. Wait, because you said boots.
You can describe them however you want.
Okay,
So
so basically
They
they
have,
have like wraps around their feet.
There you go.
There you go.
Kind of
Yeah.
like
Ira,
Ira. Yeah.
and their eyes are like a violet, basically, or
Okay.
yeah, like a
As they're going, there's a hip hop.
And-
Oh my god.
short hair and like on their hair, they
Oh.
have like a little like mohawk kind of thing going down.
Finra kind
Like a tiny one.
Finra kind of staring. Now, how tall is the wall by any chance?
I'd say like it's pretty tall. So it's close to like 300 feet.
Okay.
What?
It's just better than the 3,000 and it's a 300.
I was not that far off.
I mean, I was already thinking in that range. I mean, just, shut up, just shut up.
Shut up, you.
But yeah, you see them kind of running, and
So kind of like that, like
Oh.
thing.
Okay.
Not like one of those crazy.
a little
ones,
mane, basically.
but- Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
like the
little
scruff
mane right
going.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
It's the Pikachu with the spiky hair. Sparky was his
Yeah,
name, I
like
think.
the elves are like kind of like peeking out, and they start calling out. There's someone out there. They're running toward the wall.
They're like running. Officers.
Make a dexterity save.
Quick question. Can I make an insight check to see if it's either friend or foe?
Sure.
Is that a dexterity save?
What boulder throat?
Yeah, all right.
Narita's literally still staring at Fenrir, but
That's 17.
18.
No, I was saying 17 for the insight check. Like,
Yeah.
that when he looks at you, are you running afraid of them? Or are you running to attack the wall?
Afraid of them.
Okay.
I got a
18 of what?
This is a dex save.
Oh.
Sure. That's how she's focused.
What'd you get?
Roll a fucking
18.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's literally staring at
Back of
him.
his head looks so different now.
Since when we were growing up.
Is that blonde?
So you're making your way towards the wall. Up to this point, you were just like maybe a soul traveler here in the north. When all of a sudden this storm cloud started to quickly like appear above you, and you thought, okay, maybe it's just a bad day. But then it got bigger and stronger, and then all of a sudden these boulders started to fly out of the sky, and things started to die around you, and yeah, if you were with a party, they're all dead.
Damn.
And you guys were making your way here, and you saw the wall, and you made a run for it.
And the last thing you heard is
So,
run, get away.
With an
from
18,
here."
with an 18,
Crying. The greatest thing about here.
there's your fox friend running alongside you, and they're like, "It's only a little bit longer. Come on, keep moving your legs. We're almost there." And all of a sudden, a raptor comes and snatches him up and runs off into the forest with it.
Run away.
And then
keep
another one
running.
comes, leaps out towards you, and tries to grab you. You bounce around it. And you're like, "No, Kyle!"
What's his name?
Yeah, what's, the name? What's the fox's name?
Speak.
Fink is just dragged off. Tell my children I love them.
Like 3 more that go up.
He better survive this. He better survive
So,
this. I like
so
the
you
name.
have the jackrabbit. He's just like, oh shit.
It's like they take him to the nest.
You don't hear him say
Not
anything
walking
because
through
he's
with
like,
you like to do with me.
The Liam Neeson puts the bottles in the glass, wraps it up.
Yeah.
no bell.
No. So like he gets dragged out. And like you just hear him scream and it echoes off. One of the worst things that you saw on the way here was a large army of like people from the north, and a lot of them, like, you realize that like on your travel here, there was like a specific town that almost looked like a farm, like a town made of farmhouses, and they had like a lot of chicken coops and stuff like that, and it was just emptied out, and you saw the carcasses of some of them, almost like some of them were like picked apart on the streets. But when you were in the forest making a run for it, and as your friends started to get picked off, a lot of these chicken folk came out of the darkness, and they were like kind of zombified. They had like
not the chicken
mushrooms and things kind of growing out of their faces, and their eyes were all kind of like bursting out of their eye sockets. And it's a mix of other creatures like satyrs and other magical folk from the north, kind of all taken over by this weird like hive mind. And they all just stand there facing towards the elven wall.
You killed off the chicken folk.
So as you make your way towards the wall, Orberus gives the order to drop down a rope because the northern wall has been like sealed.
yeah, I was,
And
what
raised
about-
it, sealed and enforced. So they throw a rope down and you can see the rope just hanging down off the side of the wall, and you can hear them calling out just faintly as the wind is blowing. Grab the rope, grab it.
he's just gonna like look like he knows a little like
Little trick
wriggling a
switch.
little bit. And he's just gonna.
Yeah, you can hear the.
It's like turn around and see a monster after doing like the reach out of its claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, these raptors, like they also look like they've like had like you know maybe some battle damage over time. Like some of them have arrows sticking out of their necks and their body, and then over the top of their back, they look like they have like this fungus kind of growing across them. And their eyes are kind of glowing green. So
Yeah, I was gonna.
make a dexterity check as you try to get on the rope and make your way up.
Rolling really high so far. Because dexterity check.
I guess the rabbit's coming back with me.
Bring.
This is bottom the initiative.
I like your style. I would like to be part of the dungeon initiative.
17.
Yep.
Again, because it's
Um,
not left there.
It lashes out, tries to grab you, Jurassic Park style, slams its face into the side of the wall, and as it lifts its head to try to like leap up, this arrow just goes straight through its throat and it just drops dead.
I would say like as they are climbing up, I'm just gonna be pulling on the rope as they're climbing up to get them up faster.
Okay.
I was gonna say like right when they like get up, you he's just gonna like look at all of you and kind of like cower like against like the wall, like kind of like scared.
Narina's seeing your reaction actually, because she got very bored of just staring at him.
Is that pink?
Yeah, no, literally.
That poor Zoe. God damn.
But seeing your reaction, she's gonna like kneel down a bit. She's like, "Hey, it's okay. Don't panic.
Sounds
You're
good.
fine.
This is good.
Except for, but you're fine."
Are you edible?
No, it's
Just like doesn't say anything.
Toss him a water skin.
Just
bigger
snatches
than
it,
him. That's
sniffs it.
I mean, yeah, it's like
Sorry,
some of the elves
you
like
know.
they run over with like what you assume to be fresh blankets, but like they're quickly soaked by the rain. But they throw that
That's
over
right,
you,
so
and they
rain.
like kind of like bring you over to some cover nearby. Can I talk to you outside? Oh shit! Good stuff.
Oh,
You guys.
while they're
not
talking-
only that, it's actually frozen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
the whole screen's frozen.
Can
Both
you
of
double
them.
check to make sure it's still making sound though? Okay, we still got sound.
Well, that's fine, but
Oh,
So you guys, Dungeon Initiative, been going on for quite a few years now. You know, just yeah, that's all I gotta
Shut up.
share. You shut up.
you shut up.
You made a character that's jealous of your own character.
No, actually, I did not.
That whore.
You are the one that said it.
so
My character, my original character, and this current character have actually known each other once on a travel, but
Oh.
she never knew that it was her.
They've known each other.
but in the concept of it, we talked about the like, what if she stays around, doesn't get killed off in
Yeah.
the
Backup character.
side story.
Yeah, and
It's not just backup character. It's like storyline wise. After this session's over, what happens to the characters afterwards?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? So we
It's
thought.
like maybe like go back up with Zoe. It's like, oh yeah.
No, I was gonna,
Oh.
no, I was gonna say because Zoe has the potential scene of her sacrificing herself
Yeah, I know.
to become the divine
Yeah.
thing.
These are all secrets that the people don't know about, by the way. We're still streaming. I just realized that.
Well, in that situation,
Yeah.
there's a potential fact that we could switch over and the love
Yeah.
interest becomes.
Okay. No.
No. I'll refer to it when either the side story is over or when it comes up. I have a new wallpaper that I like when I was trying to like design stuff for like the character, and it's like I like the look.
I
of
don't
this, so
know.
I made my
As long as the
wallpaper.
audio goes through at this point, I'm not gonna fight them anymore. Something's up with their camera system that keeps doing
The
that.
sound's still going through. I just checked it again, so
Podcast style.
that means I don't have to hide this.
And watch it unfreeze it.
All right, so as they're kind of like taking over and like they're kind of tending to, they bring you some like rations, like they check you over to see if you're hurt in any way.
You okay?
Orberus kind of looks to you guys and
my nose.
he's like, "You seem to know a little bit of what's going on here. So if you can reinforce the men and let them know what to do, I have to go down to the ground forces and prepare them for any sort of siege." And like he kind of runs off, and he's like pointing to other like commanders along the wall, and they're kind of like taking his order. And what are you guys doing from there?
So, the known factor that we all keep seeing, or at least some of us keep seeing, she sees the back of my head, is that there's mushrooms, like floral rope on these things.
Yeah.
Then we're kind of like looking at this. Does anybody here know fire magic?
What?
You're down on the ground.
They're on the wall.
No, you gotta take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. This
Knows what?
They're taken away.
They're like not too far away. They're like maybe like 15 feet from where you guys are standing along the wall.
So I think we were.
But they just kind of brought them over under like some like shelter. Because there's like these little canopies every once in a while on the wall where people like take cover, grab javelins, or they have like a series of weaponry there that they can work with.
So hearing like you say like if anybody has like
Yeah.
fire
It's
spells,
funny because I'm really doing this.
John just like turns around, like runs towards you. Fire space.
Who knows fire spice?
Fire space.
Fire spice.
Oh. We're gonna need more than just one person in this fire spell.
Just gotta grab the couple.
You're good.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
Good thing the camera's running.
But they just kind of go. Which just got a little rise. Fire space.
So you might need more than one person that knows fire magic. I need a few people probably. It's just generally asking the elves that are around.
They point to like like those guys wearing the purple uniforms, and they're kind of like appointed every once in a while on the wall. So like every 20 feet, you can see one of these guys. They're not all tieflings. Most of them are like elves, but there are a couple of tieflings there. You get the impression that they might be like spellcasters or healers amongst their ranks.
Kind of like looking at them and like counting out how many are along the western wall here.
Mhm. Eastern wall.
Eastern wall. Kind of like waving down the line. Can I get them to come over this way?
The closest ones, I would say like 3 of them, kind of like shift over, and they're like kind of looking over you guys, and they're like, "Do you give command here?"
He said to inform you guys some information. We handled 2 of the giant T-Rexes, but I noticed something a little wild about those guys. They got fungal growth on them.
They're like kind of peering out, and they kind of point down at some of the animals that they've killed, and they say, "We did notice that some of them have it, all kind of running along their back. Some of our best people are looking into it, and they believe they might have been infected with something."
Well, if they're infected with something fungal growth, you can burn it off, can't you?
We've already started putting practice in, but every time we cast a spell, the rain starts to douse us out. It's way more powerful than we expect. It's not just natural. This is magic. One of them is just kind of looking amongst you guys, and they're just like, "It's more than just a storm, isn't it?"
Yeah.
It sucks. And it doesn't make sense because the flamin' hot Doritos are my favorite. And I eat them perfectly happily, but I also have water. I never had beets. So my tongue's on fire.
It's a spicy sweet chili.
That's what she said too!
Fenrir like thinking like he kind of like leans on the
They,
wall and he rests against his hand like looking at the like how the lineup of everything is down there.
Yeah, so some of those guys they kind of concur with one another. They like get together and they look over the wall, and they turn to you and they're just like, "If we can put together a small division, we can convince the captains to let us out there, and we can start setting them ablaze. Maybe if we get closer, our magic will be more effective."
There wouldn't be need to. You don't want to risk yourselves getting hurt, your casters. You need at least physical force to protect each and every one of you as you go out there. On top of that, we don't know how many numbers there are of them.
Then we have to wait for them to come to us. Then
Partly. Do we have oil?
we have some reserves. Yes.
I've known oil burn even in the presence of water.
I see what you're going at. And like he kind of like runs off down the wall, and he starts to kind of shout orders, and some of the guys kind of split off the wall and run down the steps, and they seem to kind of disperse in different directions.
Fenrir kind of like thinking back, he like leans back. I seen this once in a defense of a castle back in the old world. They dropped burning oil down on people just to keep a gate shut. Somebody thought it'd be interesting to shoot a fire arrow on it, and well, a lot of people died, but stopped them from getting in. I work here. Kind of just looking down at the wall, not like trying to figure out a number. If he sees like a few of them lined up, he's like looking like if he sees 4 of them lined up, he kind of tries to.
Or what?
If he were to like to see like the lineup of the humanoids.
They're really far off from the wall. Again, like your perception check is like, from your perspective, you're just kind of seeing the outlines of them in the distance, and they're all kind of like buried in the forest line. So most of everybody else, they'd have to pull out some sort of spyglass in order to like see what you're seeing. So bringing it to their attention, the wall seems a little more alert to this, and they're turning their weaponry to kind of like arch in that direction as well.
But how he was like trying to do it is if he could see like a number of them lined up, he's trying to take like that section he sees and act as if like he can get a number of how many of them there are versus what he sees to filling up the blanks.
Your assumption, there could be a couple hundred to maybe 1,000.
Okay. So that's a decent number.
So decision fights.
That's fair, actually. Considering we both took down, well, all 3 of us took
Oh,
down.
I actually didn't say anything.
Stop doing that.
Do this! Do this! Oh,
Yeah, no, let's not do that anymore. Like it's throwing me off too, and I take what you guys say pretty seriously at the table. So if you tell me that the name of the character is Fink, that's like
it's fake.
it's Fink now.
Oh. He kind of turns off to look at everything else on the inside of the walls once again, taking into account like the armlists. the
There's a good
soldiers.
line of soldiers there. They have like a couple of those Goliath-looking guys, kind of like armored up, and they kind of have like these like walls pressed up against the side of the doors, and in between you can see that they have these slits in order for them to like run their blades through and their spears.
Are the doors supported by like beams?
Mhm.
Okay.
And they're made of metal as well. So real heavy duty items that they have going on here, and then they have like an interlocking system for the doors that they kind of slide to block the door from being pushed in.
Kind of like looking back at these 2. Really, I need to know your name. I don't want to keep calling you Orc. It sounds terrible.
Actually, most of the time he's kind of just been staring off into the city at the moment.
But he's like Fenrir's trying to.
I was explaining like what he's kind of been doing, where it's like he's kind of like staring off into the city, just like best freaking thing. Like,
Reminiscing.
almost an
Thinking.
awe in a way.
Oh, so he's never seen a city like this.
No.
Okay. Oh, he like walks up, like pats you a little bit. Big guy.
Yes.
Name. I don't want to keep calling you Orc.
Some of the elves like around you guys, like you feel like a sudden shift as a bunch of them kind of like line up on the wall and they look down towards where like the ground troops are, and you can see Oribus kind of like marching between the ranks, and he's like shouting to them, kind of giving them like a morale speech. And some of the elves, or at least one of the elves on the wall, they kind of like approach you, and you as you're kind of like standing next to him, and they're like, apologies, are you one of Duratan's?
No. What's the state of everyone?
I mean, there's definitely a tension of like fear and maybe stress.
Okay. Uh, kind of just like go like toward like the edge of the wall, like looking down on the city as like the soldiers are readying for and all that stuff. And
Keep on back.
yeah, I feel like so nervous all of a sudden. Fuck. Warriors of Arathos. You do not know me, but you know my story. I have fought in many battles against you and your people. Great warriors, worthy to follow in the footsteps of your champion, Faeruna. Not Faye.
No.
I
I like how you poked her eye.
almost did.
I just did that because that's actually like a really.
I see there's great fear in many of you. But take heart that as long as you stand together against this threat, no matter what comes near those walls, Arathos will stand. He'll finally pull off his cloak, and now what you would see is like not really wearing like a shirt or nothing, but on his back you see like a bunch of like deep scarring, and you can kind of sort of like make out like something that looks like a branding in a way. And I would say like if you were to pay like roll a perception if you want,
I don't really say that they have to.
Gosh, I'm rolling.
Too late. You already did.
because it's a pretty fucked up scar.
Nat 20!
What is it?
Oh,
A body.
yeah.
Oh my god, he's stripping.
Actually,
Oh my
24.
god, his muscles are very big. The dorkiest character now.
Takes off cloak. It's all
What'd you roll again?
15.
15. You rolled a natural 20, and you rolled 24. I
If
would-
he had 4 arms,
I would say like what you would kind of make out is just like a little corner of like part of it, but like can't really exactly make out like maybe like a corner of an eye, basically. But
It's a Grum's champion.
I would say like what you guys notice is sort of like the torn up branding of essentially the sigil of Roach.
Oh shit, I was joking.
Oh no. But then also kind of on his back are also 2 blades that on the hilts themselves also hold the same sigil. And like from what you can tell, like that's the main area that has like the most scarring, almost as if he did that to himself.
Finrod seeing this and like immediately reverts back into the I was in the Council of the Gods mindset, looks around,
He was
but he was mentioned.
well, yeah.
I would assume his insignia was somewhere in the room too.
Grump's armor. Grump's symbol or his sigil would have been in the hall.
Okay. If you would have me, I, Thrag, last son of Krakoa, will stand with you. As I pull out the blades, and like you'll see like chains actually hanging off them as they ignite and fire.
Got it, Kratos, got it.
Yeah.
Like when you do this, like some of the elves, like they look kind of infuriated to see you there, but then there's like this like kind of like whisper that goes amongst them as they kind of like come to an understanding, and then the ones on the ground and like surrounding on the wall, they kind of like some of them like raise their weapons, and they do like a salute essentially, that is akin to your people. Some of them just kind of like beating on their shields and kind of like raising their shields up as well.
And also, as I did that, I would use War Call. So I can target up to 5 people to boost your AC by 5.
Excuse me, what the fuck?
Yeah. And also, you gain an additional D10 plus your Constitution and health.
You're not have to remind me that later. Because my brain's not very.
When you raise your weapons and then
And so I can target myself with that effect, right?
You target up to. Doesn't say up.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can target
Okay. So one other person who's in demand.
I guess Ouroboros.
Yeah,
like right
he
there
is
next
the
to
fifth
you.
one.
Oh.
Plus Constitution. Plus your
Constitution. Your
How's it worded? I rolled a 9.
An additional D10 plus targeted creature's Constitution modifier.
What's your Constitution?
You roll a
So,
D10 and add your Constitution.
And we have a +5 to our armor class?
Yeah.
It's temporary hit points.
And +5 armor class, right?
Like looking at you, and then once again, the whole mindset of reverting back to that and seeing these.
And, like from there, like I kind of just like step down, just like walk over toward you.
So threat. Kind of looking at the blades again, then like thinking about the sigil on your back that's not there anymore. The name Grumsh comes to mind when you said it. By any chance, champion?
As you
Is
guys
that
are
the-
speaking,
That's the new champion.
you guys hear like like this rumble, like a guttural roar kind of building up, and then it lets loose. Hope which your characters, or you haven't introduced your character yet, but what they hear is almost like an explosion behind you. And if you were to kind of like peek over the wall, what you see in the middle of the forest is almost like an eruption just happened, and like fire is kind of building up into the sky. Followed after is like this large gust of wind that kind of blows over the wall, and when it does, everyone kind of braces themselves against it. But what you notice is that the elves holding their like magic weapons and the ones using the ballista, they kind of begin to like dim in and out. And the spellcasters along the wall, they're like kind of looking around at this situation, and they look back into the storm and then back at you guys, and they're just like, you felt that?
Looking at those and kind of putting 2 and 2 together.
Your magic, you know.
What do you say?
Boy.
It's gonna turn.
This isn't your fight, but will you aid us in this?
Fenrir looking at him. It's a rabbit.
And I've
You have
seen.
a problem with rabbits.
I cook you for stew.
Actually, I really would like to cook it. Really.
He is
Are you
Harrigan.
good then?
Yeah.
Really?
It would be actually more badass.
You are monsters.
He is
You're not
Harrigan.
wrong.
Very agile.
Oh.
Could be useful.
He's gonna like just go up to you. Be my honor.
Oh, how
Literally,
adorable.
literally.
They would
Fenrir,
not treat
never
you
seen a
the same
Harrigan
as
once. If you,
They
if
say
you
that
think about it,
destruction.
if you when
You have seen
when
Howard the Bunny.
I haven't seen him.
They
No,
have
she
Zoe
was Zoe.
Zoe saw.
So you were the only one. Okay.
Fenrir's
That's
never
funny.
seen one.
That's funny. That means all of you haven't seen one really.
You
No,
mentioned
and
North and
Zoe
you've never
was-
seen a Harrigan.
That's funny.
No,
Now
no.
he's
This
gone.
is new to me.
I know.
It's a
Oh,
5 foot tall
I'm proud of it.
rabbit.
5'6".
5'6", 5 foot tall, 6-inch rabbit. Honestly
Just heard the
speaking,
joke we said.
Oh,
you're honestly, honestly speaking, that can make stew for at least 3 weeks.
yeah.
There's like this one elf who's listening to you guys. He's like, "That's fucked up, man."
Have you had rabbit stew? Have you had my rabbit stew?
After realizing that they were sentient creatures at times, I just didn't feel like I should like eat them anymore. Like they have thought and
I
they
didn't
learn
realize this
and they
was so
teach.
important than what's going on right now.
I'm sorry.
More wind just kind of like builds up, and
Sorry. I'm
How's
sorry.
the wall?
Just
How's the wall holding for all
the
this?
wall looks like it's fine. It hasn't taken any like direct hits. There's no like fissures in the earth that kind of led up to it. For the most part, it looks like it's able to sustain a lot of abuse. Well, what you notice is that what you, Fen, and and Nareen see.
Oh, just have it.
Easter bunny.
Yeah.
Sorry, Narina. So you three, what you see is this creature in the distance, like open its mouth, especially when you had raised the blade.
Okay.
Its attention like completely like turned and is now focused on the city. And you can specifically almost feel like the eyes are pinpointed right at you.
I am.
Mm-hmm. But the creature like had opened its mouth, and what she sees as an eruption like a volcano, it's fire billowing from its mouth and kind of going into the sky itself. And as this massive cloud starts to kind of loom over the city, it kind of grows dark. And you notice that the weapons in the elves' hands suddenly stop working. Your beast markings begin to shine. So if you have tattoos or anything, any markings, it's almost like your instinct is kicking in. And you feel the looming threat of another beast creature nearby.
Your tattoos are like steak.
Orcs.
Or in this case.
Elves begin to kind of like reach into their like satchel bags and they take out these goggles and they're like throwing them on to kind of like see within the storm as all of them kind of like prepare themselves for what's to come. And you notice that there's like a stillness in the forest as there's no more creatures running in and out. They seem to have like retreated.
Finrod looks at Thrag. I think we should probably get down.
Do you have any other weapons?
Something steel, wood.
Your weapons are still functional, by the way.
Okay.
So yours specifically, instead of having like tattoos glowing, the sigil of Grumsh is like burning currently.
Okay.
You said there were Goliaths down
The
there.
Harengen is the only one that's like, if you have magic items, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, all of those.
You are
things don't
useless. You are bait.
Decoy.
Just throw them
Fin-
as far as
Finrod looking down. The Goliaths, are they like in the front or the mid or
work. Like on your side,
in the wall?
you got some in the front and then a couple in the back in the back line.
In giant, he's gonna look down and then yell, "If you have steel, wood, or bone weapons, now's the time to use those. Magic's not gonna work."
Yeah, and it seems like this has already kind of like traveled down the line as they themselves have kind of like gotten the order from the higher ups, and like all of them are kind of already like switching out weaponries and like gearing themselves up. You do see like some protests. Some of the elves are kind of like pissed off that they have to throw their magic items down. They're picking up these like old, like old weapons, and they're just like, "Oh, how are we gonna use these? Oh, it's not gonna be as powerful. So fucking die." And sure enough, you see that there's like all the way in the back line, just past that, kind of like riding off in carriages. You notice that they're like evacuating people, and they seem to be shifting them off towards the western side. It looks like there's families and children kind of like being packed into like the carriages, and some of them are kind of looking out at you guys as this storm cloud is looming over the wall and threatening to like destroy everything they know.
Arothas. No matter what approaches these walls, you will stand your ground.
The elven soldiers, they like hear you and they like kind of cheer and they like rally each other up down the line, and sure enough you can hear it like as they all cheer, and ready themselves, it goes all the way up into the north, deeper and deeper into the city.
Let us.
As you guys kind of prepare yourselves to lower, there is a large
Was there like an elevator?
glowing orange. There's a light of orange just kind of building up above the city, and then meteors begin to cascade down along the side of the walls. And as they kind of brace themselves for it, they impact. Some of the elves get splashed off the wall as they get hit along the top.
Is there one coming from where we are?
Yes, there's one going right at you guys.
I'm gonna throw the spear at it.
Go ahead.
Heavy, the heavy ass spear versus.
Go ahead and
meteor.
roll to attack.
I catch the medium, throw it back.
That's gonna be a 30.
Yeah, that works.
Even if it was just to stop its momentum.
Yeah, I mean, like this meteor coming right at you. You punch it, and it explodes. Bits and pieces, kind of like, oh no! You throw the spear, you hit it, and it explodes into pieces, and it like drops down and like clashes against the wall. You notice that the wall itself is kind of holding currently, but along the top of the wall, like down, like further north, you see that where the top of the wall has been struck, there are like little bits of like cinder and stuff like that, kind of like where it left its dent. Yeah, what do you guys do?
Fenrir looking at the elves that are kind of still there. Tend to the wounded. Keep the guard up. Spears and javelins from above. If you have bows, use them. And he's gonna just hop up over the wall and like claw slide down.
I'm just
X-Men
gonna,
versus
like-
Wolverine.
I'm just gonna like on the edge of the wall, just watching. Wow,
Are you coming?
my name's not Boy, just so you know.
Bring the rabbit too.
It's Rian. Rian.
That's such a feminine name.
Rian?
Rian?
Really?
Rian.
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 Yeah, Rian.
Rian. Okay. It's like
Fucking
Joey.
Ryan. Pretty much.
You did that to yourself.
It's pretty much just different.
Are you coming, boy?
Yeah, we're still going to play.
Just
Just
roll with it,
react.
please.
Yeah.
Come on. You're good.
We're just two.
Did you already jump
Ask
down
her.
also?
Ask her what kind of name Narina is. What kind of name is Orberus? Erebus. Like, come on. All her names are fucking weird. Fenrir. He picked the most common Greek mythology name ever.
First of all, that's
Whatever.
Norse. I like that the whole table's like, excuse me, that's Norse.
I knew what I was gonna say before I said it, and I said it anyways, just to be fucking annoying.
Oh,
Did you go down yet?
No, not yet.
you
Scoops
can,
both of you up.
I know.
you can do something cool. You know what it is? No. You can literally just float down.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Like,
You're just like, oh my god.
monks don't take falling damage.
Yeah,
no.
no. She's just gonna.
This group be like,
She's gonna look at
What is it?
literally.
Yeah, like kind of like
That's
scoop
literally
you
what's
up
happening.
and pick you up and everything, and like start going down the wall. Blades like running down.
there
the
comes,
wall.
there comes Frag.
And
Literally what I started
gonna
thinking of.
Also jump down as
I
well.
just realized he had flannel. The fucking
Beast.
Beast had those pants. The what do they call them?
I
It's
don't
the
know.
jeans that like go out at the bottom of
Did he?
the legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see that.
So you're coming down floating? Floating down.
Yeah, they don't take fall damage.
Literally.
So you jump down. What about you? You coming
Oh, I
down?
scooped them
Oh,
up
no,
and
he
went
scooped
over the
them up.
wall.
Yeah.
Alright. You guys kind of like
Got a fluffy ball.
you land at the bottom. The last of the meteors. And along the wall, you guys hear like, "No, this is ridiculous! Don't! He's not gonna be happy if you go out there." And then you hear like a. As along the side of the wall, you see the 4 silver stains kind of jump off, and they're wearing Omni gear.
Okay, yeah,
My favorite.
that's actually
And they're
really
like
cool.
sliding down the
It's,
side
it's
of the
my
wall.
favorite there.
This is how it works.
It's my favorite boy there.
What
It's all 4 of them, so yeah.
what's his name? Smeeble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Schmeeble.
This
Yeah.
won't work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No?
Wait, what is it?
This.
What about it?
That wouldn't work, right?
What about it?
It wouldn't work, right? Because the magic and stuff.
Oh no.
No, it would not work.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, they come down the side of the wall, and you can see that they're geared with like brand new bows and arrows, and they're like
So
in their like regular armor instead of their scout armor, so they have a little more plating going on.
Mm.
And when
So it
Smeeble
doesn't
like
work.
comes down, he's about halfway
God.
when the line snaps, and he's just like free falling down.
Yeah.
Schmeeble.
Am I gonna catch him?
Oh,
God damn!
Fenrir like pulls the spear out of the meteor.
Did I?
Ah!
no,
No, I went to
no,
catch him.
no, Jesus.
Okay, you catch him. I'm like, God damn! Nobody did anything. I was just like.
You're asking the wrong person to literally save.
Well, he started talking, and I was talking about this stupid spear
He
again. I'm just like, what the fuck?
before.
What is this spear? So I'm just picturing him just grabbing the spear and then just
This body.
like
Did you hear that?
first to speak is the one who's gonna do something. Like,
He said he was
hands on head. You catch him. He's just like, I-
On your feet, boy.
I meant to do that, actually. And like you guys are kind of like gathering yourselves, and you off like behind you guys, you hear like a like communications going on, and then like the sound of things like running around in the
Are they
woods.
like staying on the wall? And they go all the way down.
They went all down the walls. And Avarice, like, who seems to kind of be the oldest of the 4, he's just like, gonna let you guys have all the fun.
Stay on the wall. Provide watches.
It seems like nobody else can see what we're seeing. They see a storm. We see a beast.
I would actually say that the more help we get is fine.
Hmm?
The more help that we get is fine.
Yeah, but basically what I said is like for them to like stay on the wall with the gear that they have, so that way they can provide archer support.
Is that what you're telling them to do?
Yeah, that's what I told them.
Okay.
Fenrir reaches into like one of the side pouches he has, and he pulls like a red handkerchief wrapped around some bacon. They kind of like walk. Like, how many of us are there?
Why do you have handkerchief wrapped bacon?
It's probably made from the
That's 8. That's 8. That works. Cool. I'm gonna give each of us a piece of bacon.
So you have no more bacon in your pocket?
No, that's all the bacon actually.
Alright.
Trust me.
I'm
Um,
so sorry. I don't eat bacon.
Smeeble-
You have carrots.
Try some of it.
Smeeble, Orlin,
When
and
the
Caitlin,
Rena pulls out a carrot for you, I'll take
like 3 of the brothers, they go, we're vegan.
It'll help you. Trust me, please.
Protein's good
Make
for
a persuasion check.
But then
Norena just has 2
Actually-
pieces of bacon now.
can I give them advantage by saying protein's good for you?
No.
What happened?
So much happened. Chill out. Like force feed vegans meat, like
Yes.
fucked up.
Oh fuck man.
Like
I
as much
mean-
as I agree.
I mean, she just traded a carrot. Norena traded the carrot with Rion for the other bacon. So.
Where's my shit? Okay.
It's under us.
I am not proficient in that. Okay. 18 flat. No bonus.
For persuasion.
So I would say it's Smeeble, who's just like, I always kind of wanted to try bacon, and the two others are looking at him like, that's disgusting. Why would you do that? And he like reaches out and he takes their pieces of bacon too. It's like,
Does it
And
stack
Narina's
up
just
whatever
over
this
here just
bacon
eating
does?
it.
like,
really
like he
happily.
like goes to eat
Does
it.
it stack up?
Wait, it's not magical, is it?
No, it's just really good food.
Okay, he's like, do I eat it now? Or do I
Yeah,
eat it?
please.
I'll
And
grab one of the other pieces that they're not eating.
he eats it.
Now you get to know what the bacon does.
Oh.
It kills you immediately.
My fucking god.
It kills vegans. Could you imagine?
Yeah, you idiot.
No.
Oh, I have
No,
one.
wait,
I actually
I
have
like
one more piece of
There
bacon.
goes our vegan fans.
All of you. You gain temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus. So everybody has +5.
Okay. Alright, so what were we saying? I was trying to make sure the sound was still good.
Everybody has +5 temporary hit points.
So
And
we
yes,
ate
it does
more-
stack.
So I ate 2. So 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.
You didn't eat it.
If you break into breaking bits, you
No,
get
it's because
So
I
you
gave
have two,
her.
so that means you get
Yeah.
10.
I gave her a carrot. Him.
Okay.
And also be healed. If you don't have maximum hit points, you can be healed. It was one of your hit dice plus 1d8. Also,
So, taking this into account,
so
the
like,
four
yours is
brothers,
1d8.
they shoot their lines up kind of like approximately like down the middle of the wall or up the middle of the wall,
2d8
and they
plus
retract themselves back up.
Yours would be an 8 plus 1d8.
So positioning themselves
So
along
I
the
ate
wall.
2 of them.
So
plus 2d8.
2d12s, 2d8s.
Honey.
Oh, 2d12s.
Jesus.
Okay,
So-
so you yield 16.
they go up along the side of the wall, and as you guys are kind of like watching them kind of like get themselves ready and position themselves, you see that they set themselves up along the wall and they prepare their weapons, and then you notice that more elves kind of like descend down with the same gear and they line themselves up in the same place, kind of taking position there and like kind of following the lead of the others. They kind of aim their weapons and get themselves ready. And as you guys turn to kind of like make the approach, you notice that there's a sound like a rumbling getting closer to you guys. And from the forest line, you can just see like the silhouettes coming out of the smoke as it kind of like billows out. And you see a mix of different race creatures with these like fungal like kind of things growing out of their face. If you've seen The Last of Us, it's
Yeah,
essentially-
I got that.
and
down.
they come out running like sporadically from the woods, and they come
Big
charging towards the wall.
Are they dead and reanimated, or are they just taking control?
You can't tell.
I think zombies, plants are growing out of them.
Okay, so we don't know if they're.
If you
actually
want to
dead.
make a perception check to kind of like get an
Yeah.
idea.
But it's on Prime Video. I think it's on Prime Video.
What, The Last of Us?
Yeah,
It's
on
on
Max.
it's on Max. Never mind.
We're actually gonna do a follow up so we can like view them leading up to the premiere of the second season.
Okay.
22.
22.
Well, we can mute each other.
22.
22 to proceed.
Perception.
You notice that there's some of them that like look like they've had their like chests ripped open, and then the fungus is like growing out of their chest.
Okay, so these people are all dead.
Dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
Okay, with
Satyrs, Haringans, elves. You can even see like there's a couple like floating little things like zipping across the air, which leads you to assume that they might be little fairies.
I need to look this up to see how this works.
And the fairies specifically, you notice that like as they come out of the darkness, they just shoot up all of a sudden, and they just fly straight up.
With that information, now knowing that they're actually dead.
Everyone roll initiative.
Are they all within like a mile?
Yes.
To use one of the charges to cast meteor swarm on them.
Okay.
So like, as I take note of this, just like, do not hold back. They were already dead. And like start kind of like twirling like the blades on the chains as they start to burn brighter. And as I slammed them down, sounded like the same kind of lights that you guys saw earlier of the meteors that hit the wall. Suddenly start picking up in the sky again, like probably making people think like, "Oh God, there's more coming!" But instead, they're going
like as the rocks are coming down from the assault of the storm,
Yeah.
you might be redirecting them back the other way.
I mean, it's within a mile, so like they'd be pushing more towards them. And they have to make dexterity saving throws.
Felt like Hank.
Yeah, I thought she was trying to catch my attention for a second. I was like, wait, what? The other day, like, I was doing some windows for like one of the campuses, and like the supervisor he bought us all pizza. And, like, we ate fine, you know, it was all fine. We're sitting there talking suddenly out of nowhere.
All right. Narina,
So,
what was your?
oh wait, I did the meteor swarm thing on the.
Surprise, right?
Got you.
Fucking why do you want me to do this?
Because
21.
21.
Dirty 20.
Ryan. 3M. Sorry.
I think you and me have to have a roll off. I got a dirty 20 also.
What's your dexterity?
Yeah.
No, you do rollies.
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 One dice.
One die.
15.
18.
Oh. My dexterity's
Hold on. So what'd you get?
Dirty 20, but with the rollies it was 18, so I beat him.
You got an 18.
Yeah.
What'd you
Well, I
get?
mean, that's from the rollies thing.
What'd you get?
so
Dirty 20, dirty 20.
I
But
go.
since
After.
The rollies. What was the rollies?
I'm going after him. So first her. Then
So I'm gonna put you at 19. That's what you got.
I roll a dirty 20.
I'm asking for the original numbers, and then I'll
Yeah,
use your
they both-
rollies to.
They both did a 20.
And then we did a rollies. He goes first. I go after him. I don't know how much easier it can get than I go after him.
Yep.
How are you? You doing?
What?
We sure should have. No, there's nothing wrong.
You're okay.
My hair does that.
This is with the air conditioning. It's not like I'm
You look so scared. Why? You're okay.
If your car makes this sound, definitely should get it checked out. There's probably something wrong.
Anyways,
That means it-
What's wrong with my brakes?
so
Oh, my stomach
you start to spin your chains,
Yeah.
and you create this this meteor storm that cascades down into the forest, right?
Yeah.
Crashing down amongst the creatures, and as the fire splashes around, it illuminates its surroundings, and you see that they're
Should I roll damage or anything?
no.
Okay.
It ends up crushing a good row of them here and there in some places. But you see that some of them are like large, like giant type creatures that just like barrel through and punch through the rocks and like charge forth. And suddenly you see that there's these larger ones that kind of like come together and full rush forward. So on the if I'm setting up the front line, you notice that kind of coming like straight towards you guys are these really large like zombie like creatures. And then along the left side, you see that there's a large army of just kind of like these humanoid or medium-sized ones that are kind of like swarming up towards the wall. And then along the right side, you can see that there's a mixture of these guys kind of like trying to decide if they're going to keep with the middle line or if they're going to break off to the right and spread themselves out.
in a cone. How wide would you say that is?
From like where you're standing?
Yeah.
Like within like from where they're approaching currently, like they're still within 200 feet of where you're at right now.
so after all of that. My eye hurts. It's been a long time since I've heard that laugh. Computer. Hey. This one can't have anything else. Chick-fil-A.
So up first would be Ryan. Or Rian, sorry.
It's okay.
Don't worry
just
about it.
go-
Don't
just
worry
go
about
with
it.
Ryan.
It's a one shot anyway, so you're just there. Huh? So you're down on the ground with them, and you're seeing like this army of like zombies kind of rushing towards you guys right now.
I cast Wall of Thorns.
Hmm?
I cast Wall of Thorns.
Wall of Thorns. Okay.
I'd say wait till they get close.
Do you guys want the visual on the table?
I think we're good at the moment.
Okay, so let me know.
For every foot of a creature moves through the wall, it must spend 4 feet of movement. Furthermore, the first time a creature enters the wall in turn, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
So if they're 200 feet from where you're standing, where are you casting it in front of you? Like directly in front of you, or
Maybe like a few feet.
okay, so
Don't
just
really-
right in front of you. All right. So
So it's about 20 feet out.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, so you're covering the ground in front of you with vines currently, right?
yeah.
That means it reduces their speed to 5.
But how many feet wide? Because you're probably only covering so much ground here. Remember, you're dealing with an army against you guys, and you're casting a spell, right?
Yes.
I don't think that would work.
Yeah, it would be only 20 feet high, 20 feet, 5 feet thick, 60 feet long. That's the wall. Okay. It is natural magic. It's not like created stuff. Not a magic guy.
Areas of magic, the area of another spell or magical effect such as fireball can extend to the sphere. If the sphere, oh, this is in the case of a sphere, this is a larger scale than what a anti-magic field would be.
Okay, so yeah, if it's anti-magic field,
Taking the sense of anti-magic field, it's just not working against beast creatures or items forged by gods.
okay. She's a druid,
Mhm.
so her magic would be natural. It would be primal magic. It would be beast creatures. If you're making that as exception.
I would like to, because it kind of gives you guys something to use.
But you have mostly just magic.
If she's a druid, her magic's natural regardless. So
Would a
it's-
sorcerer be able to cast magic then?
Sorcerer depends on
They
the form.
manipulate what's
If it's
natural.
draconic bloodline,
Okay.
probably yes. But if it's like any of the other types of sorcery, because they do that to themselves, like a rune
Yeah.
rune sorcerer, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's an artificial type of magic for you.
Wizards.
Wizards would be useless. It's the strength of anti-magic field. It literally cancels
Yeah, so I mean,
magic.
I'll
but
let
he's
you
making
I'll
the
let you go
exception.
ahead and do it. So you're good on that one. So you're able to cast this in front of you. These creatures are like kind of just they seem to be just running straight at you guys right now. So it seems like this could essentially slow them down a bit.
Yeah, it's
60 feet wide.
yeah, it
That's
takes and for dexterity, every creature they have to make a dexterity saving throw, and if they do a failed save, they take 78 slashing.
That's pretty good.
All right.
So they're just basically running through a blender.
And that's your turn. All right, Narina, what do you do?
What's right there?
So they're still like within 200 feet. So they're advancing pretty rapidly.
You could ready your action to throw a dagger at them as they get closer.
Okay. So readying your action to throw a dagger. All right. We go over to Thrag.
Okay. Because they're still 200 feet out. We gotta wait. I don't think.
He calls to me.
I'm trying to make sure I got this.
I check my bloodline, and I actually am Norse. It's in my blood.
Christ. Okay.
Me and you are related, Finn.
You said there was what running on this?
Something
Again, like imagine like a tree line, like
Yeah.
maybe 100 feet from where the wall is, and then another 100
Pretty
feet,
cool.
you see like just a
You're
mixture of these
You're fine.
zombie-like creatures,
Yeah.
all running toward you guys.
Okay.
And she just casts like in front, like a 60-foot
Plus
like
you're-
wide
Rabbit.
growth
Rabbits are
to slow them down if they were to try to run
Yeah.
straight through there.
Okay.
And plus, my stick doesn't
The Harrigans? They barely. I love Harrigans, the concept of them. Like, I was looking at them, I was like, shoot, Harrigan.
Yeah, I.
Are they like within 15 feet of like that third wall that she put up?
I mean, they still got about another 100 feet to reach that spot. So
It
she's
hasn't even been a minute yet.
yeah, she's setting this up right now. Like you guys are setting up your defenses on the other side of the wall.
So, you can always put a back start behind.
He's gonna
I
murder
wouldn't
all
be
of us.
within range for any of those attacks then.
You're fine. Stop letting that bother
No.
you.
I'm just kidding.
There you go.
No. No.
It's quite possible.
No!
It's quite possible, actually.
He's gonna murder all of us.
Well, it's possible. Since they're not within range just yet, I'll just kind of move up toward where the thorn wall is, like just 5 feet away from it, and I'll hold an action. That way, in case like if they get into range for an attack.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, you ready your action? You ready your
So,
action?
I think that's all I can do.
You're fine. Fenrir.
Um,
Everyone's readying actions right now.
Basically. I'm going to move up close to Thrag and ready my action.
All right. All right. From here, you know, you can hear like shouts coming from above, and they seem to kind of be lowering these jars over to the guys along the wall, and then they're taking these jars and they're like pouring them along the side of the door, and they're just like, ready the arrows up top, and you can see that there's like a couple of lights that kind of come on as they're like lighting up the arrows, using the oil to kind of get ready for their assault, and the zombies or the infected, they start to kind of rush forward, and they finally kind of reach like the end of the tree line, and then arrows start to cascading down into them. Hard rain kind of like blowing over, but sure enough, the oil that's sticking to like the cloth that they tied around the arrows is holding. But it seems like this is so far in few, as they didn't prepare for this. They were like just told to get the oil, just told to get the
So it's
material.
just it's a rush.
So there's like still people up there still working to kind of get these things together, and then passing the arrow up, and then they shoot.
So we have slow support.
Yes, and they're kind of like building up and shooting it and shooting the arrows over. The zombies, like again, on the left side, it seems like they're mostly like humanoid, like medium-sized creatures, and they're like rushing straight toward the wall. And some of them are like kind of like
It's off to the right side.
yeah, off to the left. So if you're facing out to the east, here's the army coming towards you guys, and there's a bunch off to this way that aren't distracted by you whatsoever.
Yeah, because
They're not
whole
focused
wall
on
is
you
being
right now.
assaulted.
Yeah, they're assaulting all along the side of this wall. You guys are just in the middle of this right now.
Essentially, our goal is to just slow down this spot.
What you notice is that like they kind of start to push ahead a little bit further, and some of them start to kind of split off left and right as they approach where you guys had set up your positions. What you notice is that there's a couple of like larger creatures that kind of break left, but there's a much larger group of creatures off to the right going towards like the doors and the walls there. That's where you see a lot of the behemoths kind of approaching the wall pretty rapidly. So as they kind of advance there, crazy shit going on. I need everyone to make a strength saving throw.
30.
11.
16. Wait. Wrong number. 21.
Not that one. What did you get?
11.
Okay. So everyone but Fenrir takes 32 points of bludgeoning damage as a hard gust picks up and pieces of debris come flying from the forest and just cascading along the side of the wall. Some of you get lifted up and thrown against the wall. It's 32 points of bludgeoning. In addition, you're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage when you impact the wall.
And I'm not raging yet, so.
Since you guys aren't too far away from the wall, I'll give you some grace here. And you only take half that damage, Ben. You take half the 32 damage, and you are not flung from where you're standing.
It's quick, it's even got.
So like I'm holding my position, and then like some of the debris and pebbles, like some of them like cut parts of my body. And I'm just standing there holding ready.
You look like you're sitting.
Boy, get up!
Boy!
Reminds me of my father.
So, when this gust of wind comes through and like all this debris comes flying at you guys, you notice that some of the Silverstein brothers are like bracing themselves, and like they get kind of like flung around along the wall, and they suddenly land back with their feet, and they seem to kind of like stick there, and they're like holding onto the rope for dear life. Others are just kind of like ripped from the wall, and you see them as they kind of get flung up into the sky. And from there, we go over to the right side. Those large creatures, along with the behemoths, they also kind of like push past the smaller humanoid creatures, and they're like much closer to the wall now. And from there, you see that they're the behemoths, like the dinosaurs, also seem to kind of be rushing towards the wall with their heads like tilted down, as if to kind of like smash against the doors. And from there, we go to the top of the order to Rian.
Gets back up. What the fuck was that?
That's a dislocated arm.
It's turned around backwards.
That's fucked up. Why do you guys pick on Rian so much? Like, leave Rian alone. Let me get some of this.
Well, what?
Leave me alone.
I feel like this already disappeared.
Yeah.
He didn't mean that much anyway.
3D pot.
I'm at 209.
She's hurt.
I'm hurt.
I'm at 83.
Thought it was
He's-
188.
He's gonna like just like run towards you.
Damn,
all
we're just getting
fours.
I mean, we still have the damage
Nobody.
from last session.
Hmm?
We still have the damage from last
So
session.
he's just gonna do that, and then he's gonna like cure wounds.
His finger.
1d8. 1d8.
The DM feeds us. Father has given us food. No beer free.
This is
What level are you casting it at? So that's
That's what I get.
1d8. So like
each level beyond. So second level or higher. So
Looking
that
at
means
like
you're
my
doing
sheet
3d8.
here, and like realizing these guys might die.
No.
These guys might die.
No. Which ones?
Everyone.
No.
Okay, rolling 3. Plus your modifier. So whatever your wisdom score is, plus 3.
these right here. 3d8.
Yeah. 3 of those.
3 of those. I'm still a little iffy about it.
The 5, 8.
8.
So that's 20 plus your wisdom modifier. It's plus 4. So 24 points healed.
How many?
24.
Can I eat this word?
This one.
She's gonna smile. Yeah. And she's just gonna give him like a head pat.
You're just, you're
Yeah.
gonna see.
It's a boy.
I know. I said she's gonna give him a head pat.
Bruh.
feeling like
What's
very
going
like
on?
feeling very like happy and like proud of himself like after giving that smile.
Like the little toes like wagging.
Yeah, like his tail's wagging and like as you're like like petting him, he kind of like does like what Thumper does where he does.
Oh my God.
my
It's like really bad.
That was a good thumb.
I'm always something.
Like that just happens and he's just like that you see some of the claws just like.
Okay.
Why are we horny on the battlefield, bro?
Violence arouses me.
God.
Pause.
Oh my god.
Red flag.
He just like looks.
It's the first time you've ever been touched in your life.
Yeah.
Oh no!
God.
Fink was supposed to be my first, but he's gone now.
It's been so long since anyone touched me.
I'm so far from my mother. My mother gives me head. And my sisters too. I'm 20.
Oh my God!
Only get as far as you guys allow.
We have one on the way. There's one.
They're all bunnies. It makes sense.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
All right.
White bird.
Narita.
She's
Things are looking dire.
I'm sorry, I just made that very awkward. I don't have friends.
Not anymore.
All my friends are dead.
Maybe all in the forest somewhere. I'm still alive. Ah no!
Fake is just fucking up the whole army himself.
She's gonna stand up and like dust herself.
Good job.
Oh my god.
She still sees Spinner standing there, like ready.
He just random pink hair flies off him.
That bitch.
Fenrir.
Like looks back.
You must speak louder. Don't let this blow you out.
You have a woman, don't you?
Oh, you're asking this now?
Oh my.
I couldn't help but notice that there's a pink strand of hair near you.
Why did you say
I was saying it as a joke, but let's go with it. Right.
now it's present?
Yeah.
How dare the cameras do this to
Why
us?
am I like this?
I don't know what you're doing because I think I was scratching the back of my head.
I wanted to save it. Okay.
On the next turn.
No.
No.
We'll discuss this later.
Alright, how far? What's close to us now?
Probably the closest thing like in front of you would be like the humanoid looking zombies. There's a couple of like mixed variety of like maybe like ogres and giant like hill giants mixed in. It's really like along like the like going down south along the wall that you see like the fast approaching mix of humanoids and behemoths. They seem to kind of be going straight for that door.
Well, I mean, aren't we kind of right in front of the door?
There's like another door there.
Okay.
There's more than one gate.
It's a terrible design.
The whole wall is made of gates.
That's a terrible design.
Arc. They do that so much in Arc.
I guess my dude. Run up to a group and just.
Okay. I'm gonna run up towards like the closest group, and I'm gonna go ahead and summon Arms of the Astral Self.
Okay. So you're engaging with a group of. Are you? Let's do it like this: left, middle, or right. Which way are you going?
We'll do left.
Like if this is a tall tale and you had to pick one way to go, which way are you going? Going left.
Left.
Okay.
So. They make a dexterity saving throw first. Anything that she gets close to currently on top. And it's a dexterity save of 18 that they have to succeed.
A 9.
Okay, roll 2d8s. It's a 3 and a 2.
8 and
Eight.
then 2.
They take 10 points of force damage upon the creation of this, and
How much damage?
10 points of force damage. The coolest part about this is now her range of attack is 10 feet. That is your bonus action.
Shit. That's a regular action. Which would be
You attacking something close by.
with my dagger.
No, just unarmed attacks.
Oh.
It's at this point
Wait.
the spirit that's like behind you is
Oh, I can make
beating
fun
the
on
shit out of
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that too. I want to run it.
Okay. So you can go ahead, just do your attack like normal. So doing the 10. There was a 10 damage from
10 damage from the
Yeah.
This is still all the same.
Yeah,
10.
her running up and then like releasing it. It's basically how would you describe the form?
I did say it was gonna be like a werewolf.
So like imagine like a big humanoid wolf creature, but in like ethereal form standing behind her and matching her movements. So when she attacks, it attacks with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Ed Arden's lightning form.
No. My God.
Okay, so you summon this
Yeah.
strike, and it's like as the summoning, the force comes out.
Yeah.
It's not just striking one; it strikes a couple of them. So they're like, and they're like suddenly like beholding your presence there. Go ahead and follow through.
We're gonna go ahead and punch the one that's in front of her.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Hits. Yep.
That's actually
1,
22
22.
because you're using the arms of Astro.
Oh! Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah. That. Yeah. One, another punch.
There you go. 7 plus 8. It's 15 points of force damage.
18.
It's 15.
Yeah. 15
And then
points of-
you can make a second attack because you have 2 attacks. That's a natural 20.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Before I like knock it down.
Keep going. Keep going.
So
there you
that's
go.
18 plus. That's 23. 31 points of damage on the second attack.
And you just say you went for like the left side flank,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So you're kind of like, so there's the patch of like stuff that she summoned.
Mhm.
You're kind of going to the left side, making this attack happen as they're swarming around that side. So you start your assault, and you said how much damage was it?
First one was 15 points. The critical was 30 points.
Okay. So essentially, like you lunge forward, you summon this spectral form essentially, right? And you assault the first one. You come around, you strike into the second one. So the accumulation of your damage, you're just kind of like you just hear just and one after the other, she's taking out the zombies as they like run and swarm into her. And some of them like leap up and you grab them in midair and just smash them into the ground. And then arrows just cascade, and they all kind of like catch fire.
Fenrir's just kind of staring. I don't remember doing that.
Made a mistake. I made a mistake.
So essentially, the way I'm doing it is there's like pods of enemies, and then like their health pool is like all
Okay.
together.
Okay,
So
so you're
you're
going
just
back and
you're
using that
striking
mechanic.
through and like killing them all as you're kind of like fighting your way through them. That's your turn.
I just, yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, so she started
Oh,
assault
like
on the left side, so therefore there is a pod of them that we're working with.
We're
So
not
they
gonna
got a health pool of a pretty hefty health pool to work through. But we go from there. So Narina, that's your turn. Thrag, your turn.
How far are they from the wall now since I got thrown into the wall?
I mean, like you guys didn't fall that far back because
Oh,
you're like right in front of the wall.
Oh,
so
okay.
like that's like 10 feet at most. So like just got slammed into it
Oh.
for a little bit of damage.
Alright.
If he had knocked you the full like 20 feet back, you would have taken double that damage that you flew back. So for every 10 feet that you get knocked back.
Okay. I didn't realize how far or how close we were. Okay, so
I'm kind of thirsty though.
kind of going for the group going on the opposite side of where she attacked.
So you're going to the right side.
Yeah.
On the right side, cool.
That needs the
That's,
middle
that's
to
the
you.
opposite.
That's fine.
So on the right side pool, that's where you can see a lot of those heavier looking creatures. So a lot more of those ogres and hill giants and dinosaurs
bonus
kind of mixed in
action-
with the humanoids as well.
bonus action rage.
Okay.
Also, in the situation of, to give it kind of like what I'm about to do, you notice that before, like when you get back up, you notice there's like snow. A little bit of like frost and snow.
Okay.
So you know what I'm about to do outside of that. But
I extinguished stuff.
There's no time for a winter breeze.
winter's coming! Run!
As I go charging in that direction, I'm gonna go ahead and start swinging.
Hey chat, thank you for sticking around. If you are watching, we don't know what's going on with the cameras. Unfortunately, that might be a store issue. But if you're still here listening in, we're doing our best for you guys. We're gonna have to maybe like create a secondary screen so when this happens, we can just place it there and maybe just have a photo of us all sitting at the table, and that way people aren't like totally confused about the table. There's no-
That'll be the perfect photo right there.
Honestly, yeah, I can probably use that. Well, let's go for a minute.
Yachts. Yachts hands.
You really can dance. You can really
Shut up! Take your damn turn, damn it!
I also have to read through it because I haven't memorized all of this yet. So, kind of keeping like the enemies within 15 feet, I'm going to just kind of start swinging the blades around with the chain.
Did you actually make the Blades of Chaos?
Maybe.
Essentially a variation of it.
A lot of this is a
scratch,
work
and I
in
just, like,
progress, so
looked
we
at
might have to
ideas
change
that-
up some things.
I just looked at ideas that other people have done, and then just kind of like mimic that a little bit.
Yeah, I've been scrolling through the homebrew stuff that they have on there, and there's like 5 or 6 things on there that I'm like, this is not balanced whatsoever.
We tried to keep this one fair, and we went off of the what is it, the vestige,
Yeah, we kind of built it off like
Concept?
the concept
where it has like 3 levels of like build up. So it started off like a
Uh,
+1, and it did like a little bit of an effect, and now like that's how he was able to do meteor swarms. Is he's calling the power of Grumption.
That's
Okay,
cool.
so I don't have advantage.
I'll show you the
as far as I
weapon
can
after
tell.
if you want to see the
I'm
block.
curious.
So first one.
Yeah.
21 to hit.
Yeah.
And you're assaulting the right side, right?
Because plus the bonuses that this thing provides, it's plus 19 right now.
What's your total again?
21.
So you charge in that direction, you lash out, and this creature like kind of like barrels forth. You can't tell what it is. If I was to describe it to you out of game, it's like a raptor, but its whole head is like covered in like this like moss and fungus, and like bumps into it, and it's like, and it like kind of like looks in your direction like it's blind and not sure where it's moving exactly.
Okay.
This session felt kind of short.
So
It's 10:30.
It's what?
This session felt kind of short. It's 10:30.
so
Fucked around a lot.
when the
We
when the
spent time
blades hit
eating in the
that
beginning and going to the racetrack, and we didn't start until like 8:45.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
when the blades hit that creature, can it grapple?
No, because it didn't actually hit it.
Oh, okay.
So you have to actually hit in order to like choose to use that
Okay.
option, the grapple feature.
So 21 did not hit.
So the chain is extended, and you have to use the bonus action to retract it,
Or use the bonus action.
or an action like we mentioned before. And that way he can't just shing, shing, shing. He has to actually retract, pull it back, and use it as a melee weapon. Or extension.
In the situation of, I gave the one that I, like the spear, I gave it that ability, but instead of it pulling things, it pulls me to the creature.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Okay, so all I can do
It's
really
risky.
is use the action to pull it back then.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
Okay.
stupid.
From there we go over to Fenrir.
Oh, kind of like after taking the blast, he kind of like looks up, see if any of the dust clears immediately, and then he's gonna go around the other side of the thorn wall forward to the front group.
Left side or right? Which way are you going?
To
the right?
around the thorns
Go to the right.
of the thorns.
Mhm.
Yeah, going to
Yeah,
left
like
or
I'm
right?
picturing that being as like your center point. Like you guys are starting from the where the thorns are. She went left, he went right to
Yeah.
assault that side.
but I'm
so-
going to the other side of the thorn.
So you're gonna jump over the thorns.
Is there a way to go around?
I mean, I guess you could go all the way around, but
So
you're
this
gonna.
makes-
It's just
It's important to know which way
Basically,
you're
what he's
going.
saying is that if you're going around it, you would either go left
yeah.
or right.
I'm
because you're
going.
around
As closer to the left as
Per notes, it's heavier the more to the right you go.
Okay.
Meaning the AC and the health bonuses go up higher depending on how big those creatures
Okay,
are.
I think I'll go to the right then. It's based
Okay, so you're kind of going off to the right in his direction, and what do you do?
I'm gonna go to the right and then go forward towards the center line
Okay.
area, and I'm gonna frozen domain that whole section.
Okay.
They have to make a. Not that one. That's the small one. Real hard. It's on the jump. There we go. They have to make a Constitution saving throw of 21.
22.
So
Okay.
they just succeed. They take half of 19 cold damage. And half of 17 piercing damage. But in general, that whole area for like another like segment of 60 feet is a circular frozen zone with like ice blocks, spikes. It's a hindered rough terrain, harder for them to go through.
Okay.
Any of the ones that failed, if there are any that did fail, I'm not sure how many of them.
It's just as a group. I'm clustering them all as one roll. They even have like advantage to kind of bolster each other.
Yeah.
But the one roll was determined, and then I just reduced. So what you ended up killing mostly is just a good chunk of the little guys, and then mixed it to the big guys in that middle row there.
Okay.
And then the spread of the ice. But you do notice that they kind of jump over each other and like they fall onto the ice pits, stabbing themselves against the spikes, and then they just like clamber over one another like it's nothing. What do you
And
do
as
from there?
a bonus action, I'm going to range.
Okay, and that's your turn.
Yep.
Um. uh, 25 to hit you, Fed.
No. Thanks to the war cry. War call.
War cry.
You guys can do it.
It sounds. And then Marina. Uh, 24 to hit on this one.
That would be. Because of that, 27 armor class, 28 armor class. I don't know how much armor class you have, but I'm pretty sure that's also high. You.
Yeah, you.
Oh, due to the
29
anti-magic sphere, it's dropped by
Oh,
2.
29 to hit you.
Oh.
Reaction.
Do you also have bloodthirsty strikes?
Hold on. Trying to see how this works again.
I missed out on the event. And I didn't get that really nice outfit on the side.
It's gonna be 31 points of piercing as I go to assault.
Trying to figure out the reaction thing here.
Is this a barbarian thing?
No, it's the blades.
I think. What is it?
I feel like we're trying to find it on here.
Yeah.
Trying to find it. I don't remember what it's called. It's sort of like give disadvantage on attack.
Did we actually add that in there?
It should be on. Unless it's taken out, I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, it is. Wielder may use a reaction to block an incoming attack, forcing the attacker to have disadvantage.
Off that stuff. So 26 total.
Yeah, that still is.
Okay. Let's see, 30, 31 points of piercing.
I think so.
Yeah, so 31 points of piercing damage as like these like raptor-like creatures kind of like swarm around you and they kind of like start to assault you.
15.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
You got lucky as shit. I don't assume 10 is going to hit you, little hairy ass. So, zombies either like trampling over the vines and like stepping over each other, and like they kind of like barrel through if they're much larger, breaking through ice and just finally reaching you guys. They just begin their assault, just smacking. Dinosaurs just kind of like rushing up towards the wall and like smashing up against it. You notice that the doors on that they had like run up to, they kind of like shift a little bit, and you can hear like people shouting and like cascading arrows down into the crowd below them as they kind of start to kind of pile up on top of each other at the wall itself. I need all of you to roll a percentile die. Yes.
because it's not to do with that.
Well, if you're doing percentile, that is actually easier. So you roll.
No, that's what I've
Yeah,
done.
that's
31.
89. 52.
I rolled a 20.
52.
So as the zombie swarm kind of like reaches the wall and begins their assault, you guys notice that off or above the head of this creature, you seeing a storm cloud as well, you know, the billowing smoke of fire kind of starts to rise up again. The creature opening its mouth and charging, it like lets out this fire breath that kind of goes into the sky. And as it does, you notice that there's a beam of light that kind of appears in the forest, coming straight from the heavens. It just onto the ground. But the cascade of fire just kind of like overpowers this and seems to swarm over the field, kind of like raining down even on top of its own like creatures, and then into the side of the wall itself. I need all of ye to make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
18.
8.
Slight delay.
You get
18.
16.
18. So the fire kind of cascades down like just like a wave of it just taking over the field, smashing up against the wall. Like a lot of the guys that are up there have started to kind of retreat back up on top of the wall, including some of the silver stains. You notice as one of the brothers is ascending, his line gets stuck, and then the fire smacks into him, and he just gets cooked into the wall. And all of you take 23 points of fire damage.
Oh, if none of us beat it.
None of you do. You can hear from the other side of the wall that there's like shouts and screams as this fire kind of cascades in. And from just along the top, you can just make out some of the trees have caught fire and they're burning even as the rain is like pouring down on them. You guys notice that the behemoth, the dinosaurs, they're trying to like push into like that wall along with the creatures like scratching and crawling like to no avail as the wall itself is holding. The doors like kind of swing open suddenly, and you guys hear this like mechanical like sound like a grinder. And you see these machines kind of drive out into the crowd and just start to plow through them. And atop it, you can see that they're like this mechanical.
Warhammer 40k. What?
And you see a couple of these drive out of the wall itself and into the crowd and start to kind of make circles.
Random Charlie horse. What the fuck?
Stand up, it'll help.
I know, I'm trying to.
Shut up! Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
Blitz
Just
drops.
finish it.
Elves along the inside of the wall open fire, and they're like fighting back the hordes and just like pushing the doors back as the last of these war machines kind of charge out and start to make like this round along the side of the field.
What's driving war machines?
It might be elves inside of them.
Okay, so you can't
They
see.
these machines, they're like just like picture the you know like the Avernus.
Yeah,
like
the
It's one of those essentially, but it's been refitted and redesigned with like new
Okay.
colors.
Cool.
So like it's like they found or
So we're
created them and
literally
took them.
playing Warhammer 40k.
I thought you already knew this. I thought you already knew this. But they kind of like push out and they like kind of start to drive along the outside toward the south. Seemingly just trying to like close the numbers that they have assaulting the wall. You guys also notice that from the light that cascaded down, it kind of subsides, and then there's these like 6 lights that kind of shoot up towards the creature. And the creature, like, it rears its head and then it just starts to kind of like look like it's being assaulted.
Someone's over there attacking it.
And we go to the top of the order for Rian.
You okay?
I don't know what caused it.
It happens.
You're old.
I know, so are you.
I know.
Once you hit 25, you're fucked.
Crazy.
Actually, I'm going to take his chance to be.
Do you guys all want to take a quick break?
A quick break would be nice.
Alright, we'll kill the last hour and just shoot to 12 o'clock. Sound good? BRB screen.
Thank you. Try B-Res coffee today. Made by gamers for gamers. Energy for all.
Yo, what does the symbol mean that's in the map? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What does the symbol mean? What is the symbol in the map?
The one on our ship?
Yeah.
We're the nation of thieves, motherfucker.
What is that?
Oh, way down.
I'm afraid this isn't over yet. There.
Of course it ain't.
Dear Lord.
What the hell? Rambler! It's an engine cart! You'll see it one day, man. These things, they'll be carrying around 12 different prisoners. They'll run on these things called engines. Quicker than the horses that we ridden in the old days.
I'll believe.
Oh?
12 prisoners. What engine? Get the fuck out of here.
Mother!
Well, then you have little to fear of death. You god-awful swine.
What a gangster.
Oh!
Why would they
I don't even
call
know
it
how
that?
an engine would work on a system like this.
I don't need
Little
to
chassis,
know.
this little body that we
I
had
don't
that
need
one, but actually reinforced, no doubt at all.
He asked me to ask you if you can bring a goddamn posse and come armed. Can you do that?
I got you, Ah. I'm gonna ride to the west here, and you're gonna ride to the east, okay? Make it look real dramatic.
Sure.
I'll see you later, Rambler.
Adios.
And you know, Rambler, I'll add something more to the... Thank you.
Try B-Res coffee today. Made by gamers for gamers, energy for all.
Yo, what does the symbol mean that's in the map? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
What's up?
What does the symbol mean? What is the symbol on the map?
The one on our ship?
Yeah.
We're the nation of thieves, motherfucker.
What is that?
Oh, way down.
I'm afraid this isn't over yet. There.
Of course it ain't.
Dear Lord.
What the hell? Rambler! It's an engine cart! You'll see it one day, man. These things, they'll be carrying around 12 different prisoners. They'll run on these things called engines. Quicker than the horses that we ridden in the old days.
I'll believe.
Oh?
12 prisoners. What engine? Get the fuck out of here.
Mother. Well, then you have little to fear of death. You god-awful swine.
What a gangster.
Oh!
Why would they
I don't
call
even
it
know how
that?
an engine would work on a system like this.
I don't need
Little
to
chassis,
know.
this little body that we
I
had
don't
that one, but after reinforced, no doubt at all.
He asked me to ask you if you can bring goddamn posse and come armed. Can you do that?
I got you. Ah. I'm gonna ride to the west here, and you're gonna ride to the east, okay? Make it look real dramatic.
Sure.
I'll see you later, Rambler.
Adios.
And you know, Rambler, I'll add something more to the...
doing it.
Alright, guys, let's get it. Check the sound for me, please. And when we left off, who was the last person to go?
I think we're starting from the top.
Rion.
From the top?
Yeah, we were on Rion.
Rion, you guys are currently surrounded by swarms of zombies. What do you do? Good. That's what you deserve.
Angel dust.
They're just like going through. What about the ones?
They're everywhere now, and you're like caught in between them and the wall behind you guys.
Oh, the ones going through the ones going through the walls of thorns. They get.
Yep, I accounted for their damage.
Okay.
I'm like
They're not carrying.
I'm cinematically killing them off. Like
Cinematically, anytime we make a hit, it's just like you're killing a swarm.
And then like when they assault as a pod, it's like the one individual attacking you guys.
Yeah.
So it's making you guys look cooler than when you actually.
So essentially, like when
if you had hit, you would have been like.
Yeah, but because I missed, it was just like.
That's how you cook the meat. Yeah.
Let's do like the little like ray of frost. So
Little ray of frost. Okay. Okay.
kind of like
Go ahead.
stop
Great.
them.
Oh, the one thing's for sure, due to like some items I have on me. This fucking
Let me ask you like this, since they're all kind of mixed in together. Are you trying to attack a small medium creature, a large creature, or a behemoth? You're attacking one of the behemoths. Okay, go ahead.
Trying to at least like freeze their legs just really good to the point where they can't move.
Did it hit?
No.
Well, it says that plus. Well, it says that plus 9.
+9.
13. No.
No, you cast your spell off in that direction. It hits the side of like a Rex, that's just like trying to like snap up at a guy who's like just dangling there. His like leg is all caught in his line, and he's like caught between like trying to get loose and this creature being like inches away from him. Like nothing.
It's like stew.
Okay.
I don't think I did. I didn't see any.
Circle the land.
I didn't see.
She also doesn't have a full character sheet.
That's right.
We never finished this, so.
So you're still like working on stuff.
So we'll say that she causes 1,000 damage.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Quick flash.
You can do rabbit hop, and you can jump 25 feet without provoking an attack of opportunities. You can wild shape into a beast from that you have learned from this feature. Yeah, you can do one of those if you want to. And you also have 2 weapon fighting.
You could walk through difficult terrain. That's pretty cool.
It says beasts are like stuff that they've already seen.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. Huh? A what?
Can I turn into?
Can you just say the word? Say it. Don't be scared. Tell me. What do you want? You want to be a T-Rex? You're a T-Rex. Behemoth is a general term for these large creatures or dinosaurs.
You're gonna be a rabbit T-Rex.
A rabbit T-Rex. Yeah.
All the bucky ears.
Okay. Just pull up the stat
What's
block of
attacking
the
her?
T-Rex. Huh?
What's attacking her?
Nothing specifically right now.
She's trying to figure out bonus action.
Okay. So if anything attacks her, low key, they have to make a wisdom saving throw. She has permanent sanctuary against plant animals.
Nothing's attacked her just yet, except for a while ago, so we're moving past that.
It says the T-Rex.
It wouldn't be on there.
It'd be on would be like T-Rex 5e.
Alright, and that's your turn?
Yeah, he just like tells everybody to like kind of like step back real quick.
Kind of hard because you're surrounded right now. Like it's all over the place.
Yeah.
You guys are in the thick of a very
You might
rough
as well
fight.
like try to safe shift. It's not gonna blow anybody back, but it's gonna be able to.
You're essentially just gonna like, and then cueing the music.
Okay, that's your turn. We go over to Narina.
Yes. Yes.
Really about to do it? Alright, so what's in front of me?
You got
Everything.
You got some zombies here and there.
Now you can make.
So like I would say this because there's like a selection of things that you can pick from. Imagine you guys are like just kind of moving your way through the crowd and like blocking, defending with each other.
At this
You know,
point,
you
it's
can
your
target.
for attacks and then make it a
Yeah, you can target like
Okay.
you know the you can try to like aim at like the smaller creatures and like try to take out more of them, or you can aim for the big guys and try to take them down. The bigger they are, the more health they have, or the higher their AC is going to be, and then your damage will determine how much of that side has been like kind of
You
dispersed.
technically have 4 attacks.
And we have World War II. So.
And also remember, this is all in the course of like a couple of seconds, so it's like the assault is going through, and you guys are cutting your way through enemies.
Just go at it. Roll.
Okay.
Our brain's not. Huh?
23.
To hit, were you going for like a medium creature, a large creature, or a behemoth?
Arena, dude.
She could actually grab one of the small ones and throw it at the bigger one.
Okay. So you're grappling them?
Yep.
All right.
So roll for damage. This attack. 10.
Eight.
That's 16 points on that first deck of force damage. So she's like grabbing one of the smaller ones and just chucking it at the
16?
Yes.
16? Okay, so you grab it, chuck it at one of the big guys. Go ahead and let's say that this creature you're targeting is 15 feet from where you're standing, and you chuck them. So for every 10 feet, that's going to be 66. I'll even give you the extra d6, so 2d6 force damage as you chuck this thing.
Yeah.
10 points of force damage. Or bludgeoning, however you consider it for that. And then make 3 more attacks. If you want to use your bonus action.
So you chucked at the other creature, and how much damage was that?
10.
Okay, I got that.
That'd be a 21 on the next attack.
Against a small, medium, or large creature.
You want to do the medium this time?
Medium.
Just try to attack it.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the total?
21.
That hits.
Okay. Now roll damage. Yep. 9 plus that. 17 points of force damage.
So you you lunge forward, you grab the one guy, chuck him over to the other side. He flies over, smacks the side of this Rex, and like it like maybe like scratches its eye as like the metal raises against its eye. It turns, and you like turn and you start to like assault the center line, and you like run like your claws straight through the gut of like this creature, this large giant that just kind of charges forth and just gets trampled over by the rest of its skin.
Roll 3 more attacks because I didn't realize that she had heightened flurry of blows.
And you're gonna keep assaulting that one guy.
Yeah.
All right.
So she's just bashing through. That's 24.
That hits. Yep.
Roll for a d10. That's 11 points of force damage. Roll your next attack. That's going to be a 15, which is not going to hit. I assume? Yeah. So don't have to roll for that. 9 19.
To hit?
Yeah.
Hits.
Okay. That's gonna be 15 points of force damage.
So this thing goes down after you slice its stomach open. It falls to the ground. It's like try to get back up. You come down. You start beating on this thing. A couple of the other zombies like run up and they like grab your arm and they're like trying to pull you back. But the spirit of your beast warrior just like rips through, slices through them, grabs one and smashes it right into the chest of that creature. It explodes in a bloody mess.
So Narina's going nuts. Like
Yeah.
up and Narina going nuts.
And whenever like she just like stands back up, she's like,
So she's a little cuckoo in the
no, she actually was
She's just enjoying it.
that, but she actually learned from Fenrir when they were little.
All right.
They're childhood friends.
That's your turn.
Yeah.
We go over to Thrag.
How far is the rabbit dinosaur from here?
Like within 15 feet of you.
Can I run up?
Again, you guys are kind of like this is the front of the wall.
Yeah.
This is where you guys are right now. Like
Okay.
this is your little zone right here, and then they're just swarming.
How far is that other T-Rex from her that was?
Like 30 feet from where she's standing, or 20 feet from where she's standing, actually.
Okay. So
Again, think of it this way: there's a mix of them, so you can pick and choose which ones you want to assault. Just
okay, whichever
let
one's
me know. Are you
closest
going
to
for
her.
like a small, medium, or large? And then that's the target. So you're kind of differentiating between.
Whichever one's kind of closer to her, basically, or him.
Like 20 feet.
I'm gonna run up your back.
them not know like him not knowing like
What's the obsession with players going to like pivot off of each other? Like,
Hey, it's cool.
I know, but like, why you gotta pick on the one guy? I'm gonna jump off you. I'm gonna jump off this elf. I'm gonna jump off this little halfling guy.
I
Like,
saw
bro.
this coming. Like I actually saw this
Jumps
coming,
off,
so-
jumps off of you to jump on little fairies.
Hey, if you can do it, do it.
Like not seeing him, he kind of like he kind of goes like that, like
Confused
trying to
as shit as
see.
this heavy orc just stomps across her back.
Running up her back once I get to like here, I'm going to jump at the Rex as it's like trying to like attack people like hanging off the wall there.
Mhm.
And,
Jumped off their face.
kind of like right here, like on like around your neck area.
It's like
Just
an
trying to
aim.
give myself enough of a leap from there. And make sure I got the right amount here.
Over big head and little arms. Read the Robin's seats. Oh shit! I just
Okay.
Oh, no, don't watch my listening.
15 plus 19.
The blood.
So
See the advance.
that's a lot. It's like in 30s range.
Well, you to hit the
Yeah.
Rex. Okay, yeah, that hits.
30 plus, does that
Yeah,
hit?
like hold on, yeah.
It's like those questions we keep
Should I roll
saying.
damage first before grapple?
What's the It's a strength check, right?
If it hits, if we're going by the standard rules, or if that weapon
It's
says
a
it grapples,
strength save.
it's a strength save.
It fails.
Okay. So I'll roll the damage also for it.
But yeah, fun thing about your character,
The blade itself.
Nature's Sanctuary.
1d6.
Anything that is an animal or a plant.
16
So
piercing
the
damage.
fungus.
Then
It's Is that Destroyer? That is Destroyer.
plus
Sorry,
11
destroy
fire damage.
This is what he said. That's why.
Nice.
One of Godzilla's oldest, strongest
I
villains.
know what he is.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck you think I am?
I want to see Destroyer in the
God
modern
damn.
movies. I want to see new Godzilla versus a new Destroyer.
Mhm.
That would be cool as shit.
And that's stupid, bro. Come on, man. I know what Destroy is.
Also, that damage is actually doubled
Yeah.
since it succeeded on grappling.
Minus another
So,
11.
minus another 11 and also another 16.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he can literally grapple and then just like swing with the other blade.
Then I'll use bonus action to retract it, but since it's a big creature, instead of him pulling it towards him, he's going to use it kind of to pull himself to like swing around onto it.
Make a dexterity check. How do you
Okay.
do this?
So he's doing the standard Kratos pulls himself off.
Oh! Oh!
The circle appears above its head.
Smash dexterity check.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not an effect against me, so I don't have advantage.
Then
They have
rulers,
power
yeah.
raid.
Power raid.
22.
Good. So you manage to like do the damage and you swing up, land on its back. This thing starts to kind of like go rampant as it realizes that there's a creature on top of its back.
Now that I'm on top of it, blade still like wrapped around its neck, and then I'm gonna use the other blade to like stab into it.
Gotcha.
Am I technically flanking anyone if there's an elf there?
No.
No. Okay.
There's no elves currently on the ground with you guys.
Oh, that meant like probably like hanging on the wall or something.
A lot of them had to retreat because
Okay.
that fire spread, like that wave of fire that just kind of rushed over
Right,
everything. So I want you to imagine like there's oil in the air and like fire just kind of rippled through it and just like cascaded over the side of the wall.
Okay.
Shut up. I'm more inconvenience and I'm biting ankles. Really is.
23 total. That hit.
To hit one of the big guy?
Yeah, the one I'm on top of right now.
That just hits, yep.
Okay, so
They're rebooting Starship Troopers. Yes! Yes!
Then you gotta do it right, dude. There's no way they get it
District
right.
9. Director.
The director of District 9, if they do it with them, I feel like it'd be really cool.
Do it right.
I know what you mean, but like,
They can't make it.
I'm
They
excited.
can't make it general audience friendly. It's gotta be hard hitting like it was before.
absolutely. No, absolutely.
They can't like ruin Rico for some
I don't
reason.
have to read. No. Oh.
Yeah, get
Just tell them that
just
hey,
keep the bottle. That way, when you go up to him later, it's literally like, hey, I bought this.
or just tell them like hey, I'm getting
Yeah,
this.
because
Yeah.
he had to do that.
I had to wait for him. I jingled my birthday.
Just say hey,
I
Seth.
don't know. I'm
So
just excited for Princess Mononoke to get that 4.
19 piercing damage, which I don't think that's doubled since this blade's not grappling.
No.
So,
How much damage is this thing doing?
Essentially, when it's grappled, it's still doing damage, but it's not like an assault damage. It's like a set damage.
19 fire damage.
Huh?
19 fire damage. So.
Yeah.
Last one is control.
I'm just waiting.
Oh, I know.
Numbers.
Numbers.
Making sure I got nothing else
That's
here to
gonna be
do.
my next.
I forgot to do that. Do first attack. It's okay.
Just a bunch of bots.
Yeah, in the normal.
Already bonus action.
Yeah, it's attention. Please just wake me off. Good. Okay. Came on me out.
I'll end my turn there.
It's okay. We go over to Fenrir.
Sorry, I just had to like make sure that there's nothing else I can do there.
So like after entering this rage and releasing the area of frost, what's the biggest thing in the area?
Probably one of those larger like Rexes.
That's visible. Would I still be able to see the giant maw of a creature?
It's way out in the distance. You'd have to like go past this army to get to it. Which I'm surprised nobody. I'm surprised nobody like. I'm surprised you guys haven't like just beelined it in that direction.
Oh,
Everyone
that's
else-
like get
Yeah.
So Fenrir, as like running straight through these things, I'm gonna make my attacks on creatures as I'm going.
Okay. So we'll just kind of say you're going down the middle line. So it's a mix of like medium or small and medium-sized creatures. In this case, like what is medium normally is a large creature.
Okay. $19 on the first attack.
19 hits.
26 on the second attack.
Hits, yep.
That hits.
Okay. Go ahead and calculate your damage.
And you said everything is of large size at least.
So I mean, like, you have your medium-sized creatures, right?
Yeah.
And then you have your large creatures, and then you have your behemoths. which
And
are,
some
like,
of them are like
they
on-
vary from like huge to like
It's,
you don't know how much bigger they can
but
get.
some of them are on the way that direction.
Yeah, there's like a mix of them.
Also, upon my rage, her. Is there still one of the Silversteins on the ground?
No, they went up on the wall, and then after losing their brother, they seem to just be falling back.
Okay. Nobody else is nearby, just these three?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I can include myself. So all four of us deal an additional D6 damage now on our first attack roll that turn.
just that one turn.
And what was your total damage?
It's. I have another damage, but I was just making sure that I was until my rage ends, basically. Oh no, that's. No, it's just in general. Oh no, it's once each of their turns. So yes, you can add 1d6 to your damage rolls once each of your turns. So now my stuff. So I'm doing. I should be doing claw and spear. So.
What is it again?
It's the Syndicate Renaissance Fair.
Oh, one.
It's weekends April 19th to May 11th. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can save 15% on purchasing a dated ticket and get 10% off checkout for purchasing 10 more tickets for one specific day. You can also do any day ticket. They also receive. I'd like to look at. I have maybe 2 years, 3 years.
Never been.
Same with them.
88 points total.
9
That's all three of my attacks.
to May 11th.
Mine 88.
Yeah, 88 total.
So you like charge forth, maybe like you like land on a couple of like the smaller guys. You'd grab them, you'd like throw them into one of the big guys, leap into them, smash your claws, and just making your way through into the back line. as you kind of begin to like push ahead of the group, you cascade them with this this empowerment, right?
97 plus 3 rage for each attack. So 97 points of damage. Sorry.
So additional 10.
Additional 9.
So you push through, and you're kind of like getting closer to the tree line that extends out to the east. And when you get closer, make a perception check.
Realize something I might deal with it.
26.
Okay. With a 26, you notice about a little over 200 feet from where you're standing, deep into the woods, and kind of going up the long side of the mountain, seeing the behemoth creature kind of like looming over, these lights kind of like dancing around its face, like assaulting it every once in a while. You see that there is some sort of creature kind of like moving on all fours, and this thing looks maybe to be twice the size of the larger behemoths you'd already seen. But it's like kind of lingering in the background between like the battlefield and with where the behemoth is, or the beast is currently like looming, the elemental beast.
Yeah.
You can see that this creature has like this large fin growing off of its back, and it's essentially like a Spinosaurus.
Okay.
And this thing's like kind of moving on land, like kind of pacing around. Like
So it's more sentient than the other ones. It looks like it's actually smart.
maybe, yeah.
Does it look like it has any of that fungus on it or anything?
Yeah, it has it. Yeah.
Does it look any different than the previous ones?
It's a little scalier, so it doesn't have as much of the moss and the fungi kind of growing off of it. The green eyes still kind of like being present. All right, what do you do from there?
Seeing that target, seeing that's different from the other ones, definitely gonna make my way towards that.
Okay. Finishing your movement in that direction.
Yes.
When you kind of finish with your movement, you also, with your 26 perception, you can see like far above it, kind of headed towards where the elemental beast is lingering.
Mhm.
You can see like almost like where its heart is, like where its chest is in the air. There's something kind of spinning and rotating there, like a bunch of rocks and debris, and you can just kind of make out the shape of a person floating within it.
As a bonus action offhand, can I throw my spear?
Can you throw up to 300 feet? Actually, more than that. This fucking creature is.
That does a 28 strength. Say I can 26 throw strength. Say
I
can
don't think
throw.
so. No, like you have like a bit of a, like, I would say, a journey to get to that spot. Like you have to kind of make it up the side of the mountains, kind of shit, and then like crest over the mountain to even get close to this thing.
Okay, because I was like wondering, because we were able to throw Hugh. I think it was
But I'm not even thinking in the standard of feet anymore. This thing is just out of range.
Yeah.
Like it's
Miles, basically.
Like I'll tell you when you're close, kind of shit. You know.
Yeah.
Realistically, no. Like I don't care how big you are. This thing is far. But your vision is pretty solid, where you can kind of like make out that little detail floating off of it.
So my current target's Spinosaurus still.
That would probably be your immediate target or closest thing.
Can I throw my spear at that?
Can you throw 200 feet?
Okay, it's 200 feet.
Approximately from where you're standing. It's like another additional 200 feet to get to it.
Just
Anything beyond 60 feet would be disadvantage for me.
So with disadvantage.
No.
You
I
still
basically
throw it?
chuck it straight into the ground.
I mean, like if you throw it, it's gonna it just land short.
Okay.
So I mean, like, what's realistically, what is your range in your current form?
Oh no.
That's Joey. That's Joey.
Oh
It's a
boy,
flare.
I know who it is.
At least the child's
Yeah, at least they can hear it in the chat. The chat's working. Welcome to the stream, Zelda player.
Hello.
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
The weapon's maximum without disadvantage range is 60 feet.
Okay.
So with disadvantage, it's realistically anything beyond that if I'm trying to throw that far.
30 feet, and it just drops short. So like you threw it, it's out of your hands, and it's currently into the ground. There is still like swarms of zombies running in. It's not like it's just ended. Like they're still like kind of like rushing in from that direction. So we go from there over to the zombies themselves.
At least they're not zombies.
Yeah, zombies are running. Nat 20 on you, Finn.
Yeah, that hits. I'm at 28 armor class.
Luckily, that was just like a regular little guy who just hit you. So I mean, it's not too bad.
You know what? Stop it! Your knuckle breaks.
How much do I take?
69. Stop. 32 points of bludgeoning damage as these humanoids kind of like run up to you. Some of them are like chickens, so they're just like pecking you with their faces.
Taking that, just kind of my reaction's gonna be sees them coming up, hits me, grabs one of them, and then just like swings it through them.
No, so just make an attack.
Yeah, basically.
It's a strength, like a regular strength attack.
26.
26 hits.
For being my
28 points of damage.
What?
So yeah, you grab the one that like is like trying to peck at you, and you just like take aim and you just chuck them through, knocking through a bunch of them, and like some of them like just break apart like butter. Another attack is a big guy's gonna try to take a swing at you as well.
Yes, I said 28, right? 28 was the damage?
Yeah.
14. Look at the heal.
29 to hit.
29's just actually the same armor class as I am.
It's just hitting.
It would be just, same armor class. I still don't know if we did that or confirmed whether or not we're doing the fuck.
what's your AC at?
It would be 29. 29, 29.
Yeah, so it hits.
Okay. So we're doing, if we equal the number, it hits. Okay.
19 points of bludgeoning damage as you like go and you finish like chucking this guy, right?
Yeah.
And as you turn around to like kind of run towards the forest, just this big meaty hand just swings like this. And like this giant like kind of runs out of the forest and just smacks you across the face. And this thing is just like flailing its arms and it's just going around as you realize that its eyes are like gouged out.
Like hell.
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna go
already
to
in it.
hell.
Yeah.
I'm already in it.
Marina. You are getting attacked from all sides right now. First is coming from a couple of these zombie humanoids. 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As they
Does it
start-
hit her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it a natural 20?
15 plus. Wait, no, maybe not. 15 plus.
Her armor class is 27.
Yep. No, you're good. They do not hit.
Okay.
You're good. My bad.
I was about to say, like, you normally tell me what they strike with.
Next one's coming in with 27 to hit on this one.
Okay.
And then that one
deflect that.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and deflect that time.
Let's figure out the damage.
So it just blocks it.
I was gonna say let's figure out what the
Yeah,
damage is
that
first.
too.
So that's going to be a total of 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so it's 1d10.
No, it's there you go.
28 on the next attack.
So the minus 20 points of damage off of that.
What was the first
24.
one? 24 for them.
So you take 4.
4 damage. And then what's the next one?
The next one
That was
28 on the attack.
a 28 to hit.
A 28 to hit? Okay.
And then the damage.
We've already used a reaction, so
Okay, you shoot.
30 points of bludgeoning damage. And then Ryan. No better see it either.
I would say.
22 to hit you. It hits. Oh. So 23 to hit you again. And that one's gonna hit as well. 24 on that one as well.
Did you guys get to see the lunar eclipse? It was
on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
25 points of bludgeoning damage
Thursday.
as you're assaulted
Yeah.
from either side by these humanoid zombies.
25?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the pictures.
There was an actual red moon.
What? Motherfucker.
What's up?
So I'm kind of rolling like a d4 to determine like what kind of creatures are assaulting you based on where you're standing, and because you're closer to the behemoths,
On top.
only one of them is gonna try to like
Yeah.
reach up and like try to like snag you from the top. So this one's coming at you with a 25 to hit.
Use my reaction to lose disadvantage.
So it fails because it now has a 17.
Okay.
So like a raptor like kind of leapt up all on the side and tried to like bite you off, but you just smack it right off. Falls into the crowd. Ben, since you're closer, you can see like pushing and like plowing through the crowd. These war machines kind of like making their way through, and they're just like opening fire as best they can on the back line. They're kind of like plowing through the tree line as well, so like bits and pieces of the trees are splintering and crackling down. And as they kind of approach you, you can see one of them like aboard. They're just like, "You need a ride? Hop on now!" And they like are like just passing right next to you.
Yeah.
So you gotta like latch on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you latch on. And aboard, you can see like this guy like wearing like his armor, his head's like kind of popping out of the top of the machine, and he's like looking at you, and he's just like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Looks at him like veins are kind of like this. The skin's a little furrier. His eyes are yellow. His fangs are sharp.
There's like one dude aside, like, "Are you sure this guy's one of us? He looks kind of fucked up." Start stabbing. The guy's like, "We need crazy motherfuckers like him." And then you see the one guy like Semper Fi style, like, "Ah!" All right, everybody needs to make a percentile roll again.
Uh,
93.
83.
I have 2 zeros and an 8.
0. That's 100.
So 108? Is that what that means?
37.
2 zeros and an 8.
If you roll 2 zeros on the thing, it's 100.
8.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
8. Because if it was like, if this was the 80, that'd be an 88.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
0.
So
this
0
would
is like
just be like an 8.
10.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just 8.
Oh yeah, because there
It's
is
a percentile tool.
yeah.
And then what'd you get?
36.
All right, perfect. Okay. So you hop on. These guys are assaulting the back line. You can kind of see that they're starting to like deplete a couple of those little guys. Really trying to focus in on the big guys as well. But behind you, you hear like a, and sure enough, like this gust of wind like blows over the battlefield. You can see like some of the soldiers up top like shouting and screaming to batten down. The guys inside of the tank are just like, "What the hell was that? Some kind of monster's approaching. It's big. I don't know what that was." But to you, you just see this creature like stand at its full height, and it's like swiping at the air as like these lights dancing around it just begin to cascade shots of power into it. As it begins to kind of build up its power. Sure. So with a 19, you're like kind of peering through the movement of the in the chaos around you, like kind of being a little distracting. You're like straining your eyes, and you can see that there's almost like people like flying around, and some of them have like angelic wings kind of like cascading off their back as they're like flying and assaulting and casting their powers into this thing. The elemental beast, it's almost like it's getting ready to charge another attack when suddenly like this blast of light strikes down, and it like seems to kind of like fall down for a moment. You notice that the impact as it falls causes like this gust to push through, kind of clearing the air for a moment on the battlefield. You notice that anybody closest to the wall especially, you notice that there's a crack kind of going along part of the wall. Go over to creatures on the wall as they continue to kind of like push and press. Some of the humanoids are like climbing and stacking on top of each other and trying to like get up along the wall. To no avail as the soldiers like just shoot arrows down into them.
As I'm riding on this thing, if we go by my sphere, can I pick it up?
Sure. But they seem to kind of just be like circling around and maybe making a wide turn to kind of like come back and strafe again.
All right. Is there if they make it farther enough?
They're not pushing out. They're just kind of keeping close and rounding like what's already there. So like the pool that I have kind of built, like they're separating like what's out there and then like clearing out the field behind them. It's let's get to it. Yeah. You know what? So, as you're kind of like riding along, you grab the spear. You can see that like the horde is like starting to kind of dwindle, and it's just like whatever's left against the wall is like kind of like spread out along the wall. The soldiers are kind of like holding their own and like being able to like thwart them off with arrows, sending them on fire, which actually seems to be pretty effective. But the behemoths and the larger creatures are taking like the full blunt force of everything, so they're like kind of resisting a lot of the damage and keep maintaining their numbers. There is like kind of like this stillness in the distance from the elemental beast, and then suddenly there's just this like slam sound that kind of like echoes and trembles through the earth. You guys watch as the split on the wall finally like breaks apart and begins to kind of cave in. Narina, you notice that Smeeble is just getting up to the top, and when he's about to grab his brother's hand, the wall splits and he falls back along with the wall. So him and his brother start to kind of descend with Avarice like just there watching helplessly as they begin to fall down.
They have a reaction to.
As this is all happening, and this creature's seemingly standing up and seems to be charging itself up for another attack, we end tonight's session.
We have 15 minutes.
15 minutes of cleanup time.
No.
All right,
Could have just used
everybody
the
who came to
retro
hang out and
computers.
chill, thank you so much for being a part of the adventure. I think we're gonna aim for the next time we are all together in 2 weeks, because next Saturday we'll not be doing a show according to you guys. But when we do reconvene, it should be the finale to this, and hopefully some enlightenment comes along the way. And see you on the next one.